Since early this morning.
Yeah, we came in at 6 a.m. getting started with the morning show and been busy ever since. Man, what a great community. We've had lots of community support. Troy Spence, can't thank him enough. Bradley County EMA Director, and just everyone. Sean Fairbanks, we could go on down the line, people that's commenting and giving us really great information.
All right, here is what you need to know at this hour. The next time marker that we are really pointing to for information for the public is 2 o'clock this afternoon. There'll be a weather briefing that is going to be put on by the Emergency Management Agency, and Troy Spence and his office and his team, along with Sean Fairbanks, the emergency chief and fire chief, and others. That is happening at 2 o'clock, and we are not able to cover that live. That is not something that they normally include. But what we are going to be able to do is we have a reporter who will be there, and that reporter is going to let us know. Plus, we are going to have, we'll get analysis following that weather briefing with the National Weather Service and our local authorities from Troy Spence, the director of the Cleveland-Bradley County Emergency Management Agency. Let me start the hour by telling you this, and as you folks, from what we're hearing in conversations with severe weather authorities, and I will tell you right now, this station will never panic anyone unnecessarily. We never will do that. We do not want to scare anyone, but I will tell you now, you need to have a plan. Dwayne has told you this all morning. Bridget has told you this all morning. You need to have a plan for this afternoon. There are numerous business closings. We're going to hit all those. But I want you, those of you who do not have, listen to me closely, please, you do not have a shelter-ready home. The Homeland Security and the Emergency Management Agency are opening storm shelters all over this community, and we just had a new shelter open in the last few minutes that we're going to talk about as well. Bradley County Fire and Rescue Station will be open at Dalton Pike. Bradley County Fire and Rescue at Menace Road. Bradley County Fire and Rescue, Georgetown Road at Hopewell. Walker Valley High School is going to be open. Their storm shelter will be open. No pets. No pets. And then, Dwayne, we just learned that the Oh Yeah Health and Fitness Facility is going to open, and I'm going to read, got a message from the owner, Larry Gurney, a moment ago. Matter of fact, just now. And Larry says the Oh Yeah Fitness Club is making their 30,000 square feet facility available to the public for anyone seeking shelter from the possible tornadoes that have been forecast for later today and tonight. Area residents are welcome to spend the night, bring sleeping supplies, a cooler, and enough food and drinks for a night's stay. Now, the thing about where Oh Yeah is located at the Village, that is that building is built at least in the early 1960s. It is underground. So if you, again, that would be one of the best places to go if this weather pattern that is forecast, if it were to happen, Dwayne, that would be a good place to be.
Absolutely. People that are familiar with Cleveland and Bradley County know that building well and know that basically it was built for that back in the day. I think it was built for a bomb shelter back in the day when it was originally built. So that could withstand that. What a community supporter, Larry Gurney and everybody there at Oh Yeah, to offer this at a time of need, especially in the center of our community, especially at the south side of town where that is going to be needed.
And he said people can spend the night, so
awesome.
If they need to do that. Well, Dwayne, I want to go over to you, and let's start with the weather and what is the very latest forecast. We should have had an update from the National Weather Service in Morristown in the last few minutes, and so I want to go over to you just for the very latest is what we are understanding. We do know there's a lot of heavy water out there. There's a lot of already we're getting, as everyone knows, we're getting rain already. We are getting reports of a lightning strike that struck a building here in Cleveland earlier within the last hour and a half or so. But where are we starting here at, but where are we at 107 here, Dwayne, as far as the forecast?
Well, what we know right now is that the first round of storms have reached the Tennessee Valley, and those have come through this morning. Not to say we're still not going to see some more showers coming through for the early part of this afternoon. Some of us are experiencing those showers now. But once that first batch and these batches move through, it will set the stage for a better thunderstorm threat this evening across most of our listening area. That's why we keep telling you to heed the warnings and be prepared. Get yourself prepared for whatever your family plan is. And then they're also talking about the tornado activities. That is a very, very big possibility for later this evening. And Steve, what we're finding out now is that that we could see some more severe weather even after this first round comes through around 4 or 5 o'clock. Even later tonight, we could see more around the 9 o'clock area, which could be a situation that could cause some problems because, as we all know, when it gets to be dark outside and you can't really see anything, that is the scariest times to be out there and be in those type of weather situations. So in the reprieve right now, so if you've got to get out, school systems really couldn't have done any better on the planning, getting the kids out of school at the time that they did to get those kids home, get the buses off the roadways, and get all of that taken care of while we're kind of in this lull before the second round, the second wave of storms come through a little bit later this afternoon.
All right, let's see here. Lee University has now canceled classes starting at 1:15. Lee University offices are closing at 2 p.m. So let's add that if we can to all of our announcements. Lee University is closing their offices at 2 p.m. and they are canceling classes beginning at 1:15. So really right now over at Lee University, we just got that in the last few minutes. Let me see here. We've got a lot of closings, and we're going to get into those in just a moment. But I really, as Dwayne is talking about making a plan, we wanted to get those storm shelters out. Those of you who really could use a storm shelter. Bradley County government their offices will close at 2 o'clock. I believe, did we hear from the city yet? Do we know?
Not heard from the city as of yet.
Okay.
Of course, we did hear about the people that was planned for the vaccination today. They were scheduled for this afternoon. Those have now been moved to Tuesday. The same time that you were scheduled today will be the same time you'll go on Tuesday, which will be the 30th of March. Steve, kind of tagging on to what you said about Lee University and the offices and classes, we want to remind people Cleveland State Community College, no afternoon and evening classes today as well. And then the same from UTC down in Chattanooga, no afternoon and evening classes getting reported from there. So that kind of gets you up to date on our universities and community colleges.
Because right now, as we speak, I know Bradley County schools are right in the middle of early dismissal. I believe Cleveland City is also. Is that right?
That's right. The high schools and all those students should be getting out around this time. And so you're still going to notice a lot of traffic out there. So please be careful. A lot of standing water on the roadways. We'll get to some reports that our listeners have been calling in this afternoon. We've had bus drivers call us and tell us about standing water in roadways out there. So we definitely would love to hear from people that are traveling, of course, when it's safe for you to do that, and let us know where you're finding some of those problematic places so we can get that along to the other listeners this afternoon, because that's what it's all about, Steve, this community taking care of each other and everybody letting us know what's going on in their community and their neighborhoods.
All right, so here's what we're going to do now. We are getting a lot of businesses and places like that, offices calling us. They're also emailing us. They're commenting on our social media. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and update you on what's happening. CHI Memorial Convenient Care will close at 3 p.m. today. Bradley County, well, I told you that. Bradley County government offices, if you have business with Bradley County government, and that is 2 o'clock today. The bread basket. Oh, come on, really? We're closing at 2? What are we going to do without our cherry danishes?
Well, Steve, you still got 40 minutes to get there.
Okay, I'm leaving.
Steve's out the door.
I'm kidding. Bread basket, 2 o'clock. Pure Cleveland Nutrition, Southside Nutrition, East Hamilton Nutrition. They will close at 2 o'clock. Chick-Fil-A closed at 12:30.
Yeah, I was by there just a little bit earlier. I ran home for a few minutes to get some stuff off the back porch, what I've been preaching to people to do to make sure they don't have an issue there. And, Chick-Fil-A closing at 12:30. That's a pretty big deal because they're heeding the warning as well, trying to get their employees home safe.
Karen and Steve Colley, we know they honestly care about safety more than anything else. And, everybody loves the employees there and how they act, and the staff's wonderful, and there's a reason. And that begins with, well, Karen Colley, I don't know about Steve, but no, Steve as well. Cleveland Bradley Teachers Federal Credit Union, both locations will close at 2 p.m. Tzatziki's is closing. We heard from Brad Emmendorfer. Brad said Tzatziki's will close at 2 p.m. Wholesale Supply Group closing at 2 o'clock. That according to Josh and Jeff Rogers letting us know that. Thank you guys for letting us know. Mermaid Mattress is closing at 3 o'clock. They're actually going to close their factory for their employees at 2 o'clock. Mermaid Mattress, the retail centers, the stores, 11 of them, will close at 3 o'clock. The Old Fort is closing at 3 o'clock today, Old Fort Restaurant. Honda Cleveland, Chris Harris has announced that they are closing at 4 o'clock. Pediatric Dentistry, Dr. Chad Esslinger and his group of dentists, they will close at 2 o'clock. Dwayne, I assume that's all locations, is that right?
That's all locations that we are aware of, yes.
Andrew Johnson Bank closing both locations at 2 o'clock. Leisure Time Bowling will not open today. Leisure Time Bowling will not open. Toyota of Cleveland, Monte Bernie and his staff, they're closing at 3 o'clock at Toyota of Cleveland. Southland Finance will close at 2:30. Dusty Whitener reporting that. Capstar Bank is closing at 2:30. We just received word, a new one here, Cleveland Head and Neck Clinic. They are now closed. Again, Cleveland Head and Neck Clinic now closed. And Dwayne, we added Lee University. Well, hang on, Dua Lipa wanted to come on here. That ain't happening, Dua. I'm sorry. Anyway, I like a little Dua Lipa, but
first I thought it was the Lord coming.
Oh, man, what's going on here? Anyway, just got that in. Lee University, they are closing at 2 o'clock. As far as their offices, now they have already shut down classes at Lee University as of 1:15. So Lee University now closed, and we are waiting now for a big point here, and that is a weather briefing, Dwayne, at 2 o'clock at the Emergency Management Station. I want to explain it, but when we say explain to people, when we say a weather briefing, what that means is that's really conducted by the National Weather Service in concert with the EMA and our local and state authorities.
Yeah, and then also other communities are invited into that. So not only is it for Bradley County, but the correspondent Ryan Felton will be able to tell us what some of the other communities are hearing and learning as well. So that is going to be a very important meeting, and we'll get an update on that. Steve, if you don't mind, maybe we can give a break here on what some of the roadways are looking like out there. Now, this was probably from 30, 40 minutes ago. Some of the water may have receded since then, but as these were coming in, we want to get these on. But before I do that, Karen Colley said, Steve, thanks so much for the kind words from them just a few minutes ago there. But standing water, you're going to find that on Highway 11, North Lee Highway at Sunset Memorial Gardens. It's a low-lying area that normally has trouble with water when we have these type situations. Spring Place Road, another problematic place. Paul Hubb Parkway in different locations in those low-lying areas where construction is going on. They're noticing standing water there. South Lee Highway was a report in front of CVS and Hertz Rental there towards Bradley Central High School. Also,
go ahead, you're fine.
Also, Candy's Lane, closer to 25th and Georgetown Road. We all remember how Candy's Lane always had some situations there. Van Davis Road, they were saying earlier there was almost impassable. They were recommending take Eureka to Moore Road and to Van Davis. That's what they were saying. Then Free Will Road between Hopewell and Candy's Lane, part of that Candy's Lane situation there. Standing water. New Murraytown Road off of Harrison Pike. Problems there. Now, this is something probably getting in the finishing up stages. It was on Frontage Road that there was a car that had a fire there next to Benjamin Crest. I think you mentioned that when we first came on. That was causing some problems on Frontage Road. And then we had an earlier incident on I-75 southbound on the Riceville side of things. that was causing a backup on the interstate. So those are some of the things that we are aware of. Again, if you know any problematic situations out there on the roadways, please give us a call on the Volunteer Writ of Pest Mix line, 614-6499.
Yeah, what we're going to do, and we're just going to have to say we trust you, and in cases like this, we're going to put people on the air, and I'm just going to trust you. We really don't need to lose our FCC license, people, because, it'd be nice to continue being here. And so we are going to put people on the air, unrehearsed. I would ask that I don't, some part of me feels like I have to ask this, but probably not. I know you'll be responsible, please, in your comments and that sort of thing, but okay, well, I guess we're not going to do that.
I guess that one wasn't going to be responsible.
That's okay, yeah. and look, I tell you, let me do this. If you'd like to go on the air with us with a report, it's very effective for the audience to hear from you, quite frankly. Call 614-6499. If you do not wish to go on the air, you want to give us something off the air, we'll give you that choice, obviously. 472-6700. 472-6700. Let's go to the phones. Good afternoon.
Hey, this is Randy over at Flowers and Things. How are you?
Hey, buddy. How are you, Randy? What's happening?
Well, we're doing well. Just kind of let you guys know that we're going to close the day at 3 o'clock.
Okay, so Flowers and Things closing at 3 o'clock today.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, how's that curve over there? You got Mouse Creek and North Ocoee. How's that looking?
I think, from what I can see, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not as far as flooding or water, that sort of thing?
No, not that I can tell.
Okay. Okay, hey, Randy, keep us updated, buddy.
I appreciate it. You have a good one.
You too, man. All right, 614-6499. You want to pass along some information to us. Now, yeah, that can be a business closing. That can be, as Dwayne said, if you are seeing something, on the roads that you feel like other people need to hear about or see, call us. We're on Mix TV as well, mymix1041.com. We're on our Facebook page, Mix1041 WCLE. Download the app. That's going to be very, very important, guys, the rest of the day. Download our free app. The Mix 1041 app's presented by CHI Memorial. Download at mymix1041.com. Dwayne made a great point. I heard you this morning saying, even if your radio goes out or whatever, if you have your phone, you have the app, you can listen.
That's true. See, we got another closing that we just got in. Habitat Restore on Grove Avenue is closed now and says they will reopen tomorrow. So that's another one to add to the list. And then this is in from the front desk up there. Erlanger Cardiology, I can't even say that word this afternoon. Offices in Cleveland, Chattanooga, and Athens closing at 1 o'clock, which has just been the last few minutes. So they will be closed as well. That's Cleveland, Chattanooga, and Athens.
All right. Hey, Austin Chadwick is our TV producer. Austin, you have worked. Is your mic hooked up? Do we know? Yes, it is. Hey, Austin. You've worked severe weather for many years. You were in Chattanooga television for years. What do you make of all of this today? Just your thoughts. He may be distracted.
He's recording a couple of shows.
He's doing a lot of things.
He's multitasking.
Well, I tell you what, for those watching, Mix TV at mymix1041.com or Facebook, Mix 1041 WCLE, our Facebook powered by Cleveland State. I wonder if we could get that radar picture back up. If we could do that, that would be wonderful. I'd like to see that. I'm going to go to the phone. So Mix 1041.
Hey, Steve, Chuck Evans. You may have already announced this, but my wife just called me, and she works for Mike at Andrew Johnson Bank, and they're closing at 2 o'clock.
Okay, Andrew Johnson closing at 2 o'clock. Is that both locations?
Yes.
All right. Chuck, hey, I appreciate you calling, buddy. Thanks so much.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Talk to you later.
Thank you, man. All right. If you're watching on Mix TV, you're seeing the radar, and that's a wonderful, wonderful picture. Let me see where I can see it over here. Here's what everybody needs to know here, and this is what is so important. And I talked to a lady this morning who's from New Hampshire. She's not from Cleveland. But I told her this, and I'll tell you this. Traditionally, what we have seen in Cleveland and Bradley County in southeast Tennessee, the systems that come up from the south are more dangerous. And I'm going to leave it there. I told you at the beginning, we're not in the... Somebody back there?
No, I just did it.
Oh, that's pretty good. We're not into scaring people. We're not into alarming people. But I want our audience to have a plan, okay? And we're not going to sugarcoat it either. So as you see, thank you, Dwayne, for doing that. I'm getting older. As you see, this band is coming up really from, what is that, Mississippi, really. I mean, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So it's coming up from Alabama and coming through Georgia. And right now, there is some heavy stuff. If you're in the Dalton area, I got a video sent to me from Mountain View Nissan of Dalton. And the water is already ankle deep down there in that North Georgia area. Now, we got a pretty heavy band right now, Dwayne, in Chattanooga.
Yeah, it looks like that next wave could be coming through for some of that section there.
Austin, what do you make of it, buddy?
Well, I've worked many storms over my life, and back in 2011, this was kind of the same situation setting up for the day. When you hear weathercasters really giving a stern warning on air, saying this is the time that you need to prepare, this is the time that you need to go find shelter. Manufactured homes is not shelter. You need to go find a storm shelter. You need to go find somewhere to sit for the night. And if nothing happens, fantastic. But if something happens, you want to be prepared. And we've seen this before. This happens ever so often, and it's kind of part of the game, especially when there's individual cells. When there's a bunch of individual cells, which is what it's looking like it's going to turn into tonight, that's whenever it gets really dangerous, because there's breaks in the weather, and then all of a sudden you've got another cell that comes across, and there's another break in the weather. You've got to be careful. That's something else to watch out for, is that once one storm passes, don't go outside looking for damage. Wait till everything's done. Wait till everything's finished. At the end of the night, then you can go outside and look at damage, because you never know when the next one might sneak up on you when they're broken up like this.
Austin and Dwayne as well. And if somebody could turn some air on, I think Bridget's cooking barbecue back there. What are you doing back there? I mean, why does it have to be so hot in here?
Save money for the owners.
Oh, that's why I understand. Hey, question. What's our time frame? Has our time frame changed any? I mean, I know earlier this morning we were talking like 3, 4 o'clock up until about 10 o'clock tonight. Is that still what we're looking at?
Yes, the time frame in Chattanooga is from 4 to 11, and David Glenn was on air this morning, and the way he was laying it out, this might last several hours. And so the time frame for Chattanooga is from 4 to 11, so of course we're just a little bit behind that. But the way the storms are coming up from the south, it could take place all at the same time. It just depends where those individual cells are. So and it looks like Cleveland's doing a good job. It looks like the schools have done a good job. They let out kind of staggered to give the opportunity, so that way everybody's not on the road at one time, everybody's getting home. So it looks like everybody's going to be in place by 4 o'clock as far as all the businesses are closing, letting their employees go home. So we're reacting the way we should. So I'm guessing somewhere around 4:30, 5 o'clock, we should start seeing it amp up here. And then from there on, it's just going to go throughout the night for several hours. So.
Well, and again, I want to point the public's and the audience's attention to 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, there'll be a weather briefing. We're going to have Ryan Felton in the room. He's going to be there reporting. But then we have invited Troy Spence, also Sean Fairbanks, to call us after the brief. How long are they anticipating that going? Maybe a half hour?
I would think this one would be a pretty short briefing, because most of the time it's talking about school dismissals and different things like that. Well, all those have already been here in past. I think it'll just be an update on what the latest weather trends look like, and I think that it's not going to be a very long meeting, probably 20, 25 minutes tops.
Okay, so maybe, I tell you, Ryan, it'd be nice if Ryan could pass along some real-time information as they make it. Maybe he could do a little texting or something. We are live, Mix 104.1 severe weather coverage. We're going to take a short commercial break right here. We're going to stay on the air. We're going to stay on for quite a while, and we're going to be here this afternoon as we are encouraging our audience on the radio, on Mix TV at mymix1041.com, on the app. Folks, download the app. I'm telling you, you can listen on your phone, get the information. We send out alerts. MyMix1041.com. Download the app if you've not. It's free, thanks to CHI Memorial. But we are obviously preparing for an impending weather event of some kind. And what we are gathering from the authorities is it could very well be very, very significant. And that is why we are wanting you to have a plan. So we're gonna back out right here. And then at the bottom of the hour here, it's 1:28. Here in just a few minutes, we're going to come back. We're going to take the wide shot again. We're going to bring you that full report of the very latest. You are with Mix 1041.
This is a severe weather update.
And our coverage is presented by McIntyre and Associates Insurance. We are back with more in just a moment. Stand by.
Looking for the dealer who's going to give you more. Kia of Cleveland Superstore.
This is John Davis, the trade-in man for Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway, proclaiming trade-in madness. I know it sounds crazy, but I'll give you $7,000 minimum for any trade in any condition toward the purchase of a new Kia. Our goal is to buy 66 vehicles this week. I'd rather buy a well-cared-for local trade-in vehicle than a mystery car at the auction. So Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway will pay you $7,000 minimum for any trade, no matter the miles, condition, year, make, or model. Worried about your payoff? Don't. I'll handle the payoff even if you're upside down. Got a lease? Don't sweat it. We'll terminate the lease early with no penalties. Credit issues? No problem. At Kia Cleveland, if you've got $500 down and you make at least $2,000 a month, I'll do my best to get you approved. So come see me, John Davis, the trade-in man at Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee, where car buying is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Balance on trade, refinance, and new loan. Subject to lender approval. Expires month end.
KiaofCleveland.com.
Mix 1041, powered by Tennessee Valley Federal Credit Union.
That wasn't a real car. I was making car noises with my mouth. I'm local musician Suevo. Get a car loan at tvfcu.com and hear what a real car sounds like. Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland will give you a guaranteed $4,000 above Kelley Blue Book value on your trade-in. Cleveland-Nissan.com.
We all need some fresh air, so we're taking the 2021 Irwin Marine Sales Boat Show outside March 23rd through the 28th. New and used boats, financing, giveaways, and more. Admission is free. Go to emboatshow.com for details. Irwin Marine Sales, Chickamauga Marina by the dam.
If you want to work at one of the most advanced, safe, and eco-friendly tire factories in the world, apply at Nokian Tires in Dayton. Nokian is an employer of choice in Southeast Tennessee with competitive pay and benefits, a positive workplace culture, and even a gym and sauna. Nokian Tires is hiring nearly 150 workers in the first half of the year, from production operators to technicians and other specialists. Visit NokianTires.com/Dayton Factory to learn more and apply. That's NokianTires.com/Dayton Factory.
Stretch your stimulus with Eller & Owen's Furniture and Mattress. Save thousands. The more you buy, the more you save. Stretch your stimulus with up to 36 months free financing with approved credit. Take new furniture home today. We have hundreds of in-stock items for immediate delivery. Don't wait months. Look for the Take Me Home Today tags. It's a stimulus bonus. In-stock furniture and mattresses to take home today. No waiting. Hurry in and stretch your stimulus at all 4 Eller & Owen's Furniture and Mattress locations.
The long-standing manufacturer in Cleveland, Duracell, is hiring. The Cleveland plant is now accepting applications, both entry-level and experienced positions available. Jobs starting at $15 to $18.42 per hour. Duracell offers great benefits, health insurance, dental, vision, a 401k plan, and more. Benefits become active on the first day of employment. At Duracell, they are celebrating their 60th year of continuous operation. Apply now at Duracell.com. That's Duracell.com.
Folks, we work with over 25 lenders, many of which want to give you a second chance.
At Crown, we understand sometimes bad things happen to good people.
So if you've been all over town and people have told you no, we want to say yes here at Crown.
At Crown in Cleveland and Chattanooga, we'll beat any other Tennessee dealer's advertised price on a new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram truck by $500 or give you $5,000 during Ram Truck Month. Put the power of 2 to work for you, plus easy credit approval.
Crown in Cleveland, Crown Chattanooga.
We got you covered.
See dealer for details.
Give Give your family comfort and reliability while reducing your power bills with the fuel that can do it all, propane. Propane provides premium performance and lowers energy costs. If you're moving, building, or remodeling, contact Mountain Gas. Mountain Gas provides outstanding customer service, certified technicians, reliable deliveries, plus heaters and gas logs. Contact them today for the best new customer offer of the season. Visit mountaingas.com or find them on Facebook.
If you shop for a mattress and they tell you about some long delay because of industry shortages, come to Mermaid Mattress. Buy it today, we'll make it tomorrow, and deliver it the next day. It's all about being local.
Good Thursday. Severe storms are likely this afternoon into tonight. Tornadoes, damaging winds, hail, heavy rain, all likely with these storms moving through. Make sure you have your plan in place. Friday, it clears out. Sunshine, a high of 75 Friday afternoon, and then more strong storms move in on Saturday afternoon, and we'll have even more storms on Sunday. Download the WRCB weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm meteorologist David Carnes for the Channel 3 Storm Alert team.
Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland will give you a guaranteed $4,000 above Kelley Blue Book value on your trade-in. Cleveland-Nissan.com.
All right, good day, everyone. It is 1:33 Eastern Time. You're listening to Mix 104.1. We are live here on the radio. We're also on Mix TV. And right now, just before he goes into a very consequential weather briefing, is the man of the hour, our EMA Emergency Management Agency Director, Troy Spence. Troy, good afternoon, buddy.
Steve, I'm glad you're feeling better and back in with us this afternoon. Missed you this morning.
Well, thank you. And Troy, I just want to get the very latest. Just give us the very latest that you have to the people.
Okay, so we do watch local news. Channel 3 just reported a few minutes ago when their lunchtime briefing that between 4 o'clock and 11 p.m. would be the greatest potential for severe weather that could cause some damage. And just before we came on, about 15 minutes ago, Chattanooga and Cleveland was mentioned on the Weather Channel. So, I mean, we don't have Jim Cantori here, but it does concern me that when you get mentioned on a broadcast like that potentially there's the hazard coming.
Yeah, that's that's not this is not a channel we want to be mentioned on, quite frankly, at this point. But we do know, Troy, that there is a definite threat. We're going to learn more here at 2 o'clock in your weather briefing. But what would you tell a person who's trying to plan a little bit? And we have had just scores of businesses and schools and other places closing early today. What do you tell those people who are trying to make a plan?
The best thing I could say is number one is make a plan. We certainly can't do that for every individual out there. We help businesses and churches, but at this point in time, you need to look out for a few hours that's coming up and determine, am I going to stay home? If I'm going to stay home, where am I going to get? Where's the safest place in my house? Well, you want to be in the most interior rooms you can be in, which put as many walls between you and the outer walls as possible. And you want to have a flashlight in case the power goes out. You're going to want to have, AM, FM radio, if possible, that has battery powers to it. And your cell phone needs to be charged up. And, as crazy as it sounds, if you've got an old helmet from baseball, motorcycle, or something like that, you may want to put that in your safe location. So when you go in there, you can put that on and add another layer of protection. And, like I say, we're going to have to do this weather briefing. We're going to look at what the Weather Service is saying. We're going to look at whether or not and what time we would open some safe rooms. And when we get ready to make those announcements, we're going to send that through our public notification system. So everybody needs to sign up for that so that you can get the latest information that we're putting out. And that's something that this morning alone, Steve, and I appreciate y'all guys pushing this for us, because I think it's absolutely the best way we can notify the public is have this, and we can push it out in just a couple of seconds. But we gained 4,000 people today on signing up for this notification system, and last week we gained 2,000. So everybody needs to have this. So You know, we do our best not to just put a bunch of notifications out there, but we want to put emergency notifications out there, and that's the reason why we're doing everything we can to get as many people signed up.
We're joined now by Troy Spence, our Cleveland Bradley Emergency Management Agency Director here on Mix 104.1. Now, Troy, so let me be very clear here. You have not opened the storm safe rooms just yet. Is that right?
That is correct, and we'll be discussing preemptively opening some of these before we would even get warnings. We have with the fire departments in the school states that we would do those when we start getting thunderstorm warnings. That's what the federal FEMA recommends is to do it that way. But
sure.
You know, last year we did open at a specific time to give people plenty of time to get to the Walker Valley, and we didn't open the fire stations because of COVID. But beware that if you respond to any of these or you decide to go to one of these, you need to make sure that you're prepared, because they're going to ask you to wear a mask and to wear gloves while you're there. We still have uptick on COVID, and then like the Walker Valley, they're not set up to receive pets there, so do not take pets to the Walker Valley location when we decide to open that up. And I think a lot of people are confused, and now's a good time to talk about the storm ready rooms. They're not shelters, so we open them up, people go in, the storm passes, and then we close them and we send the people home. So a shelter is a little bit different, where if there's damage and we need to open a shelter up, we'll have to work with the Red Cross, and we'll find a place for people to go should they become homeless due to the storms.
And that was the situation about a year ago now, Easter of 2020, when you and I worked so closely together. We have for many years. I will tell you, Troy, we're on Mix TV. This is our digital television channel we started a few months ago. And we've got a picture of you. I don't know where they found it. You look like you're 15 years old. I mean, this is such a young picture, Troy. I've never seen anything like it. My goodness.
Well, you know, the granddaughter's little friends think that I'm the uncle, not the grandfather. So, you know, it could be a current picture, Steve.
Hey, Troy, I appreciate you calling. I know you're getting ready. We've got Ryan Felton is there for us. But, hey, would you maybe want to call me after the briefing? Just let me know what they said.
I will do that. Yes, sir.
Okay, Troy, thanks. I know you're busy. Thanks so much.
Hey, thank you for getting the information out there, and keep plugging the sign up for the public notifications so that we can let people know what's going on.
We'll do it. Thank you, Troy. Troy Spence is the director of the Cleveland Bradley Emergency Management Agency. All right, so let me back up, and when I came on, I said these storm-ready rooms would be open. That is not the case. What this announcement is, and that is to let us know where they will be if they are activated. Now, word of the hour here at 20 before 2 o'clock, when we're looking at maybe a 3 to 4 o'clock hour time frame here for the real severe stuff to start, would be to identify these locations. So I'm going to give you the locations. Let me be very clear here. We are not saying that these storm-safe ready rooms are, in fact, going to open. As Troy just told us, they have not officially made the announcement on the openings of these rooms as of yet. But here they are. Bradley County Fire and Rescue Station on Dalton Pike. Bradley County Fire and Rescue on Menace Road. Bradley Fire and Rescue, Georgetown Road. That's the one. Georgetown and Hopewell. Walker Valley High School. Troy mentioned no pets if they open. I'm going to give you another one. Now, this is going to open. And this is fascinating, Dwayne. The Oh Yeah Health and Fitness Facility, which is at the Village Green Town Center, is going to open as a storm shelter. Listen to this. Now, this is underground. This you go down there. If you've been there at the Village, you know that, as Dwayne mentioned earlier, that was built as a bomb shelter many, many years ago in the 50s. And that's at the Village Green. So you can go down and you can take items to be sleeping supplies, as Larry Gurney has said. Take a cooler with enough food and drinks for a night stay if you would like. And they do have showers there, that sort of thing. And they're, Dwayne, they're opening their facility. That's at Oh Yeah at the Village Green. The Village Green Town Center will be open as a shelter.
Yeah, that's probably one of the safest places in town you could be, without a doubt, with that building there in the Village Green. And just kudos to Larry Gurney and everybody there at Oh Yeah Health and Fitness Complex for reaching out and being a part of the community when they need it the most. And as you mentioned, Steve, the difference between this is a storm shelter, which means you would be able to stay overnight. And as Troy was just mentioning there a while ago, the storm safe ready rooms is just to get through the storm, and then they would be closing those down because those are fire departments. Those are not places that people would be able to stay overnight. So that is the differentials between those two.
Let's hit some of these business closings once again as we've crossed the half hour. We were just joined by Troy Spence, our EMA director. A lot of you are in dismissal right now, early dismissal of schools locally in Bradley County, Cleveland City. Dwayne, let's start with education, school announcements, and I'm talking about our colleges and universities that we know about.
All right, Lee University, we'll start there. Their offices should be closing here in about 20 minutes from now. Classes actually did not happen after 1:15 this afternoon, so that's for Lee University. Again, their office is closing here shortly. Cleveland State Community College, no afternoon and evening classes for them. And we've also heard from UTC down in Chattanooga, same situation, no afternoon or evening classes at UTC. So that gets us through our colleges and stuff for the afternoon until the evening. Also, a couple of other things, Steve, that came in that just really since we did our last update, Peerless Pediatrics closing at 3 o'clock. So that's going to be about an hour and 15 minutes from now. Peerless Pediatrics. Also, Flowers and Things. Randy gave us a call and said they'll be closing at 3 o'clock today. The Habitat Restore on Grove Avenue said they are now officially closed. They would reopen tomorrow. Erlinger Cardiology offices in Cleveland, Chattanooga, and Athens closed at 1 o'clock. And then Andrew Johnson Bank was added to that list too. 2 o'clock is the time that they'll close here shortly as well. I know, Steve, you got some more there on another list that we had from earlier this afternoon.
Yeah, let me find it. Here we go. Okay, we have Leisure Time Bowling. They are not going to open today. Toyota of Cleveland is going to close at 3 o'clock. Monte and his staff there. Southland Finance, Dusty Whitener says they are closing at 2:30. Capstar Bank, their branches are closing at 2:30. Cleveland Head and Neck Clinic are closing. They are closed, so they have closed early today. Also, you got the Habitat Restore, is that right?
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Here's another list. CHI Memorial Convenient Care will close at 3 o'clock. That is in the Publix shopping center. Again, CHI Memorial Convenient Care is closing at 3 o'clock today. Bradley County Government Office is closing at 2 o'clock. The Bread Basket closing at 2 o'clock at the Stewart Park Plaza. Pure Bath Body and Mind, Cleveland Nutrition, Southside Nutrition, East Hamilton Nutrition, all closing here at 2 o'clock this afternoon. The Cleveland Bradley County Teachers Federal Credit Union, they're closing both locations at 2 o'clock. Tzatziki's, Brad Emmendorfer said they're closing at 2 o'clock. Wholesale Supply Group closing all branches or stores, according to Jeff and Josh Rogers, at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Let's see here, Mermaid Mattress closing their 11 locations at 3 o'clock today. The Old Fort Restaurant on 25th Street, Scott McGowan said they're closing at 3. Honda of Cleveland, where General Manager Chris Harris says they are closing at 4 o'clock. Pediatric Dentistry, Dr. Chad Esslinger and his other colleagues are closing at 2 o'clock today. Also, you said Andrew Johnson Bank.
Yes.
They are closed. I think Brett just sent us something, Dwayne, so we need to check on that. We also, and we just checked the phone there, because we are taking calls, and we're going to take them on the air. We don't normally do that, but if if you see something out there that people need to know about, and we're thinking about standing water or some kind of hazard out there, call us. Let us know at 614-6499. That's area code 423 on the volunteer Red Pass mix line, and we're going to put you on the air. And we just ask you, please, we don't want to lose our license today, so we need to stay on here. Also, if you don't want to go on the air, but you do have something you'd like to pass along to one of our folks there answering the phones for us, Ashley R., Bridget, you can call 423-472-6700. Dwayne?
Yes, just want to reiterate that we're under a flash flood warning. That is going to be until at least 4:15 this afternoon. The flash flood warning is for Bradley County and East Tennessee, Hamilton County, and some of the surrounding areas. They said at 1:03 Eastern Time, was about 45 minutes ago, it said emergency management reported flash flooding in several roadways across Hamilton County. And they said that please turn around, don't drown is the thing that people tell you when these sets of circumstances are going on. So if you see something that a creek or something is overflowed its banks, please, again, turn around, don't drown. So we're underneath that flash flood warning till about 4:15 this afternoon. Steve?
Thank you. We are awaiting a weather briefing, a very significant weather briefing at 2 o'clock. And that's really the marker and time that we have looked at for about the last 3 or 4 hours when we knew that they were going to have it. We began to look at 2 o'clock. Now, we are not able to broadcast it live. What we are going to, and that we're just not, it's not that we're not able. We've just been requested, some of the things that are said as an internal, we understand that. So we will, though, have a report on that. Ryan Felton is reporting for us and corresponding for us. And we'll be there. Dwayne, I think he's got another thing there. We'll be there. Ryan's going to be in the room, and so he's going to be real-time reporting back to us at 2 o'clock at the EMA headquarters. And then Troy Spence said he'll call us back, the EMA director. And Troy said something interesting there, that the Weather Channel has mentioned Cleveland, Tennessee. You don't want to be mentioned on the Weather Channel. I don't like hearing that. And the conversation has been pretty interesting this morning from people who normally don't talk like they have or like that. Conversations we've had today. And so the headline to this audience is get a plan together. Make a plan, get a plan, Dwayne.
All right, this is going to be from the Don Ledford Cleveland Mixed Highway Patrol Team. Peach Orchard Road is already starting to flood. Reports are saying as soon as you pass the Mexican restaurant there on the left, you will go down a hill, and the water is already shin deep there. Stay clear of that area and across Benton Pike, going close to Menace Road. So Peach Orchard Road already starting to flood there. That is after the first wave of showers. Think about this, folks. The second wave of storms that come through, that's just going to add more water on what we've already got there. So that's going to continue to be a situation. Peach Orchard Road, and then there, stay clear of that area across Benton Pike by Menace Road. Also, Steve, one other thing we want to mention, too, about people, about the COVID vaccine, that people have been scheduled to get that today. I'm sure they're wondering as we get close to 2 o'clock, if I had a 2 or 3 o'clock appointment, what is going on with that? Well, if you had an appointment today, they gave us information earlier that you've now automatically been rescheduled for Tuesday. You will keep the exact same time that you've got today, and you will move that to Tuesday on March the 30th. So please keep that in mind if you were going to get your vaccine today.
Cleveland Plywood will close at 3 o'clock. We just got that in from Rick Kaywood. Cleveland Plywood will close at 3 o'clock today. If you had any business there, Cleveland Plywood will add Cleveland Plywood to the list. They will close at 3 o'clock. What we're going to do, it's 9 before 2 o'clock. We are, and I want to get Austin. Austin, you wandered in here and then you wandered off. I want to get a comment from Austin more about time frame. He is in touch, and Austin did Chattanooga television for many years. He's our mixed TV producer. Austin, you look as if you may have something, or do you just look like that?
Well,
Hang on, I got to turn your mic on.
Dwayne covered it. We were talking about Peach Orchard Hill Road, which is dangerous anyways, but if it's flooding through that area, that's pretty quickly, because that usually doesn't flood. So that means there's been a lot of rain out in that direction. So
while I've got you here, though, I can hear people, they're screaming at the radio, maybe not screaming, but they're thinking, what should we be prepared for as far as time frame? So when is this supposed to start, and when might we be able to breathe a little bit at the end of this thing?
Well, unfortunately, it might last through the remainder of the night. It looks like that the biggest elements, the biggest danger is going to come in around 4 o'clock. 4:30, somewhere around there. That's when it's really going to start amping up this afternoon, and then it's just going to carry on through the night. We talked about it before, but the way this storm is setting up, it's just a bunch of individual cells. So you're going to get one cell. It might break for a minute or a few minutes, and then you'll get another cell come through. And those are really kind of the dangerous ones because people aren't always paying attention. Once the storm comes through, if it be a strong storm or a tornado or something, the best thing to do is not go outside and try to figure out what happened, is to go ahead and stay in place. Stay in place for the rest of the night. There's no real reason to be out moving around. In the events of emergency, that's one thing, but as long as you're inside of your house, stay in your house for the night.
Let's go to the phones. Good afternoon, Mix 1041.
Yeah, this is Pastor Sears.
Pastor Gary Sears, yes, sir. And
hey, buddy.
Pastor, how are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored, and so are you, Steve.
Well, Pastor, here we are. It's 6 minutes before 2 o'clock.
Okay, roll it.
And it appears that we are, in fact, we're going to have some significant weather, it looks like. And so we wanted you to call in and lead our audience in a prayer.
I'll be more than honored.
Of protection. And you know, I'll tell a story. In 1973, before 2011, 1973 was the most tragic day. As you were here then, weren't you?
Yes, yes.
We had, what was it, 7 tornadoes go through Cleveland?
Yes, I think it was 7. It was a disaster in the community from one end of Bradley County and surrounding counties to the other. It was really tragic.
Well, and let me say very quickly, folks, I am not suggesting anything like that, and I want you to understand the spirit of what I'm saying. But in 1973, Pastor Sears, my grandfather, your friend, Reverend Emmy Littlefield, I shared this story earlier this afternoon with someone, that a tornado was heading straight for Faith Memorial Church. Straight for Faith Memorial. And Papaw got out of the basement there at Faith Memorial, and he stood in front of the church with both hands extended.
Wow.
And I don't know what he said exactly, other than something like, "In Jesus' name, I command this storm to go away," or something of that nature. And there were other people who saw it happen. The tornado literally did a U-turn and went the other way. And so I don't say that to talk about my grandfather at all. I really don't, and he would not want me to do that. Other than to say, Pastor Sears, there is power in prayer.
Yes.
And power in God's protection, isn't there?
There certainly is, Steve. And while you may not say that about your grandfather, what a great pioneer of faith for the community, and a man who cared about this community and prayed for it. And now, in this time that we're in, that's the kind of men and women we need, is people who are praying to stay the storm. Jesus did that when his disciples were scared, worried that they were going to fearful for life. Jesus simply walked to the front of the ship where they were on the Sea of Galilee, storm raging, and he said, "Peace, be still." And that's what we want him to say to our community today. And so as I pray, Steve, Father God, I ask you to reenact for our community what our Lord and Savior did for his disciples. I ask you to speak peace to the storm, and that, God, you would put a covering over our community and a protection over everyone here and the surrounding area. You know exactly where this storm is headed for. And Lord, we ask you to stay the storm. As, dear Lord, we've been challenged and told to be prepared. We're prepared as best we can. But now, Lord, we ask you to put the covering over us. We trust you with it. We thank you in advance for what you're going to do for us. In the wonderful name of Christ we pray. Amen and amen.
Pastor Gary Sears, thank you, Pastor. Listen, I just got a good update. Thank you, Dr. Dyer, who has got a good report. All of the Cleveland City buses have delivered the students back home and ended their runs, and that's a very safe and a wonderful announcement, isn't it?
That is excellent, and that's what we pray for all the rest of our community. You know, you do what you can do. You don't take chances. You don't take risks. You listen to the authorities that have warned us and do the best we can, and we're going to trust for the Lord to do the rest.
Hey, Pastor Trish Sluter reminds me that the tornadoes, actually I said 73, is April 3rd, 1974. April 3rd, wow. 1974. And I, please, folks, do not misunderstand what we're saying here. We came on the air and we said we really are not here to panic anyone. We're not here to scare anyone. However, we are here to shoot you straight and tell you what's going on. And Pastor, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, Steve. And God bless and be safe.
Bless you. Thank you. It is a minute before 2 in the afternoon. All right. The next few minutes are going to be interesting, and it's going to be a weather briefing. The National Weather Service will conduct it from, and we're already beginning to get information from that briefing. They may have started a little early, actually. Ryan Felton is corresponding for us there. It's the very latest information that our community, our area will have. And that is, Dwayne, a very important time period, and this is really when the very latest will be delivered to area authorities.
That's right. Of course, when this meeting is over, our local government, our local first responders, all of them will then leave that office and go set up to take their places to be able to be prepared the best that they can to ride out this storm. No pun intended there, as we get going through the afternoon into the evening hours. And we know how important it is to be weather alert, especially when it gets to be dark out there. Those are times you wish that you could say we would never see these storms after dark, because that makes it very, very difficult for everybody, including our first responders. So this will be an interesting time to hear what they've got to say.
You know, Tennessee, that's an interesting statistic. Tennessee leads the nation in nighttime tornadoes. I don't know why. I don't understand that. This volunteer state leads the nation in nighttime tornadoes. Folks, make sure, and as Troy Spence, so we've just now crossed an hour, 2 p.m. 2 p.m. in the afternoon Eastern Time, special coverage of an impending weather situation, which is expected to be severe. How severe? We're learning more by the hour. But you're encouraged, as Troy Spence told Dwayne this morning, to make sure your phones are charged, make sure your devices are charged up, make sure you have a plan. We have not, and we're gonna do go to the hour here and that sort of thing, do a full reset, but we do not know if, I don't know if is the right word, when or which storm safe rooms will be available. Ryan Felton reporting live from the weather briefing that severe weather now considered likely. Now considered likely. Time frame around 4 o'clock. Many scores of businesses are closing. Schools have already closed and early dismissed. Just got that great report from the city schools, Cleveland City, that all of the students have been taken home safely. It's wonderful. There's a lot of water out there, even though the worst of this has not begun, Dwayne. There's a lot of hazard out there at this hour.
Yeah, we're still underneath that flash flood watch until 4 o'clock this afternoon. that was given to us a little bit earlier. So just got to be alert out there. Steve, one other thing that I would like to mention as well is make sure flash flood warning. I'm sorry, I know warning is different than a watch. So underneath that flash flood warning until 4:15 this afternoon. One thing that we talked about some this morning that's worth repeating is if you have outside toys, like kids have these little scooter things that they ride and the little plastic cars, those are things you need to secure while you've got time, because those become flying objects if it's not even a tornado, but during high winds, and those could be damaging to your home. If you get a crack in a window or cracking, different things on your home, that is something that you need to secure right now. Go ahead and go out in your yard. If you've got lawn furniture, those type of things that could get caught up in wind, make sure you secure those now while you have the opportunity. That could be something that causes you problems later tonight.
Great point. 2:03. Here's what we're going to do. We're on the radio, Mix 104.1. We're on the app. Download our app, folks. I'm telling you. You can listen on your phone throughout the, really any time. MyMix1041.com, presented by CHI Memorial. We're going to do a world and national update right here, bring you the very latest, look at the radar screen, give you all the closings and delays that we know about. Stand by.
Broadcasting from the Kia of Cleveland studios, this is Mix 104.1 WCLE, Calhoun, Cleveland, Athens. Download the free Mix 104.1 app at mymix1041.com.
Fox News is next, presented by Capital Tire Service in downtown Cleveland.
News. I'm Lillian Wu. President Biden holds his first formal press conference talking about COVID vaccine goals.
We met that goal last week by day 58.
This press conference coming 64 days into his term. The wait for it.
The longest in over 100 years. So you have questions on issues like immigration, gun control, and those recent North Korean missile tests less than 24 hours ago. The job losses stemming from the cancellation of the Keystone Pipeline.
Fox's Kristen Fisher, and the man accused of carrying out the Colorado supermarket massacre was in a courtroom this morning for his first court appearance.
He'll be held without bail until such time as the court is able to determine whether or not the proof is evident and the presumption is great.
A Colorado judge ordering the man charged with shooting and killing 10 people in a Boulder supermarket be held without bail.
Fox's Dana Perino. America's listening to Fox News.
Capital Tire Service, downtown Cleveland, your local Michelin dealer since 1967. Providing Cleveland with quality products and services for over 50 years. Come see Freddie or Tony in downtown Cleveland for a great deal on Michelin tires.
The Mix 104.1 local active COVID case count is brought to you by Laboratory Service Center in Cleveland. Their rapid antigen tests are $50, antibody tests $25, PCR tests $175, and emergency take-home saliva PCR tests $150. That's at Laboratory Service Center in Cleveland, where they provide that testing for you outside in your vehicle. Register at clevelandtest.com. That's clevelandtest.com. Here are the local active COVID case count numbers for our listening area. Bradley County 439, Hamilton County 737, McMinn County 96, Meigs County 20, Monroe County 64, Polk County 56, and Ray County 28. That's the Mix 104.1 local active COVID case count, brought to you by Laboratory Service Center in Cleveland. Register at clevelandtest.com.
Usually about 4:30, I prepare for the morning show. I was not sleeping well. I had a lot of stress. Then I got on a mermaid mattress, and my sleep improved immediately. I was more well-rested, then I felt better. So I'm playing tennis. I love exercise. I was able to engage more during the day because I'd gotten a great night's sleep on my mermaid mattress. Mermaid mattress. Better mattress, better price. Better sleep, better life. Mix 104.1, powered by Tennessee Valley Federal Credit Union.
TVFCU puts money back into the community to support musicians like me.
And me.
So get a home.
And me.
Anyone else?
And me.
Get a home loan at tvfcu.com. Don't bank corporate, bank together. TVFCU is an equal housing lender.
The all-new Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Cleveland, right off I-75 and exit 20, the better way to buy.
Stretch your stimulus with Eller & Owen's Furniture and Mattress. Save thousands. The more you buy, the more you save. Stretch your stimulus with up to 36 months free financing with approved credit. Take new furniture home today. We have hundreds of in-stock items for immediate delivery. Don't wait months. Look for the Take Me Home Today tags. It's a stimulus bonus. In-stock furniture and mattresses to take home today. No waiting. Hurry in and stretch your stimulus at all 4 Eller & Owen's Furniture and Mattress locations.
Chick-fil-A Cleveland is thrilled for grilled and spicy. Try our new Spicy Grilled Deluxe, lettuce, tomato, Colby Jack cheese, and our Spicy Grilled Chicken Filet on a multi-grain brioche bun for a limited time only.
With more than 20 primary care locations, Erlanger has more primary care providers available close to you. Call 423-778-DOCS to schedule.
Save $400 on select Stearns & Foster mattresses at any of our 11 convenient Mermaid mattress locations. Your better sleep starts here.
This is a severe weather update.
As we come on the air in the 2 o'clock hour, we have fresh reporting live from the weather briefing at the Emergency Management Agency. Our correspondent, Ryan Felton, is in the room. And here we go. Here's the very latest. I'm going to quote directly from Ryan. What is being said in the briefing? Severe potential weather late this afternoon. The time frame has now been sharpened. It's now expected between 5 p.m. and midnight. 5 p.m. and midnight. Strong, I'm quoting now, folks, long track tornadoes are possible. Large 1-inch hail is possible. Damaging winds, quick rising water, flash flooding is possible. There is a significant tornado risk, elevated hail risk, and elevated flash flooding. Now this is, let me go back to the 5 p.m. to midnight. Ryan cautions us that is an estimated window that is not definitive. Again, Ryan Felton is our correspondent, doing a tremendous job inside of the Emergency Management Agency headquarters, the EOC. It's not the EOC right now, but it could be if the severe weather comes. They turn that into the Emergency Operations Center. I'm going to repeat what I'm just getting and what Dwayne and I both are getting here, and I want Dwayne to interpret a little of this, but here in just a second. Severe potential late, beginning about 5 o'clock to midnight. So that's a bit of a change. We were expecting about 4 until 11 was the initial projection. They may be done.
I figured it'd be pretty quick.
Strong, long track tornadoes are possible. Large 1-inch hail is possible. Yeah, if you can. Damaging winds, quick rising water, flash flooding. There is a significant tornado risk, elevated hail risk, and elevated flash flooding, and the time period 5 to midnight. Dwayne, what do you make of that?
It seems to be like, to me, that with what we've seen this afternoon so far, that I'm not surprised that they moved it out a little bit, because we've had this lull, and actually it does seem like we got a break in the action, and for it to last a couple of extra hours is not really a bad thing, because that means we're going to be able to get more people home from work, definitely get all the Bradley County school buses and surrounding community, their buses off the roadways. And so it's really great news to know that it's going to maybe be a little later than what we first originally thought.
Wish somebody from the county schools would let us know, like the city did, when we get all the students home, if we can do that. I appreciate Dr. Russell Dyer gave us that announcement for Cleveland City families that all the students are home safe, and I'm believing all the county will be home safe, and we want to know that. We want to make that announcement as we did for the city. So this is a time now, here at 11 minutes after 2 o'clock, to plan and to have a plan and to to do the things that the emergency authorities are telling us to do. Flash flood warning until 4:15. Flash flood warning until 4:15 this afternoon. We have a lot, numerous business closings, schools all let out early in preparation. for this, but we are getting now the clearest picture that we've had all day of the potential here and of the forecast here, and really, folks, we were looking at 2 o'clock, that weather briefing, and I don't know, you read between the lines a little bit. You hear how they talk. We've been dealing. I have been dealing with emergency services people here. God bless them, for 27 years at this station, and we had some interesting conversations this morning, folks. We're always going to tell you the truth. We don't want to panic anybody. We really don't. But I want you to be safe. I really do. I want you to be careful. I want you to have a plan. I want. Maybe you'll hear something today that you didn't think of. Dwayne just told us about. Well, we have them. People have toys and things like that in the backyard. Be careful. So, Dwayne, here's what I want to do. I want to start. Let's go education first. Schools. I want to begin with schools and closings that we have that would impact us maybe going forward today. And then I'll circle back on what Ryan Felton, excellent reporting from the EMA weather briefing of the National Weather Service. The Weather Channel, as Troy Spence told us about an hour ago, the Weather Channel has mentioned Cleveland, Tennessee as a flash point. And then I'll tell you that this audience, if you'd like to call, let us know something that is pertinent to the community's knowledge, you can do that on the air. We ask you please be responsible when you do that. I know you will be. 614-6499 on the volunteer Red Pass mix line, 614-6499. Dwayne, what do you got?
All right, let's go ahead and start off with Lee University. Their offices closed at 2 o'clock today, so now their offices are officially closed. Classes ended at 1:15 today, so Lee University done for the afternoon and evening. Also, Cleveland State Community College earlier today told us they would have no afternoon or evening classes. That's all locations. And UTC down in Chattanooga, same circumstance. They closed at 2 o'clock, so no afternoon or evening classes at UTC. So that takes care of our local colleges. And so, Steve, back over to you.
All right, let me go to this. This would be the storm safe ready rooms. We are not telling you now. We are not telling you that they're going to be open. These have not officially been opened, but here is where they are. And if we had one word to describe this broadcast here on Mix 1041, it is planning. It is planning, and we want this audience, we want this community, we want this area to plan, okay? And so under that heading here, and if you do not have a safe place to be, as now the National Weather Service tells us, between 5 and midnight, 5 p.m. and midnight today, here are some ideas. Or here is where they would be. I want to give you one first, so. Oh, yeah, health and fitness. These are wonderful people. They really are. They're at the Village Green Town Center. This was built, what, Tom Rowland, when they built it? The 50s? He would know.
He was here.
Well, he wasn't here in the 50s, but he was alive. Somebody help me out with that. Anyway, the basement there, they've got an underground area. They're opening as a shelter. So you can actually go and if you'd like, take sleeping supplies. They have showers. You can stay down there tonight if you need to. Larry Gurney, Joe and the staff, they're going to open that up as a shelter. Oh yeah, at the Village, they built that. Kind of like a bomb shelter, really.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember, is that where the Village Lanes used to be?
It is. That's where the bowling alley used to be. So many people older in this community remember what they used to call the dungeon.
Yeah.
When it was a bowling alley down there. So, yeah, probably one of the safest places in town. And, Steve, just kind of a quick thing, as Sean and everybody's been telling us today, the difference between a storm shelter and those safe ready rooms that we've been talking about. The storm shelter, as you mentioned, Larry Gurney says you can bring supplies and stay overnight. It's a place you can come and be there overnight. on those storm-ready rooms that we're talking about, those are just to get you through the storm, and then those will close down. It's not a place you can bring your stuff and stay overnight. You will be sent to a place if you don't have nowhere to go, like through the Red Cross or somewhere like that. So that's the difference between a storm shelter and a storm-ready room.
Well, he went in the other room. Austin Chadwick, I think he had some for us. I want to run down more of these business closings. I don't want to hit I want to look at the radar screen. Now, folks, we're on the radio, yes. We're on the app. Folks, I'm telling you now, download our app. Go to mymix1041.com. Should be part of your planning, and not just because it's us, but simply because you can listen on your phone or mobile device tonight, whenever. But Austin, what thoughts do you have? And then when you head back to the TV control room, we're also on Mix TV at mymix1041.com. When you head back there, if you pop the radar screen up, I'd like to see it again. But what do you got?
I will. I just looked outside, and it's starting to clear out a little bit, and the sun's starting to come through, which is what sets up for these storms to really, it just unsettles the atmosphere and gets it to where it really is. And so that's the thing. Another thing I wanted to kind of point out here is to check on if you've got neighbors or family that are elderly that don't necessarily turn on the television every day, that don't have a smartphone, check on those. The majority of deaths that happen is by people who are unprepared. People who don't know that it's coming, people that it surprises them. So we want to avoid that at all costs. That's what we've spent the entire day doing, is making sure that the community is prepared and is ready. That's what the emergency management agency is doing. That's what all the schools are doing, is making sure that everyone is aware and is prepared for this to come. So if you do have elderly neighbors or friends, family, make a quick call, check on them, go over and see them, say, hey, I want to make sure that you're ready for this, that this doesn't take you by surprise. But like I said, I just looked outside and the sun's starting to pop out a little bit, which is kind of what sets up for a more unsettled atmosphere for the rest of the evening. So this can't be understated at this point. So yes, Weather Channel is calling out Chattanooga. They're calling out Nashville, and they're showing, along with WRCB, that there still could be storms moving through at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night tonight, because you were asking me about that earlier.
Yeah, the time frame, and I think they crystallized that a little bit in the weather briefing, where Ryan Felton has been corresponding for us live in the room, is that they shifted a little bit. They're now saying 5 to midnight, and I do want to point out, Ryan also in his excellent reporting telling us that, in fact, this will be the last briefing. This is going to be the last briefing they do today. But what do you make of that time period now? The weather officials, the Weather Service saying from 5 to midnight.
Yes, and that briefing comes from the National Weather Service. For people who don't know, all of your channels, all of your weather people, they all listen to the National Weather Service. That's like the top dog. That's where the main information comes from. And then from there, you have forecasters below it that can kind of give predictions a little bit better. But the National Weather Service is the one who issues all the watches and warnings. They lay out the timeline. They've got the technology. They've got the radars. So whenever they say, this is what's going to happen, that's what you need to pay attention to.
We now got a new estimate also in the weather briefing. Now looking at 2 to 3 inches of rain estimated now. That Ryan corresponding with us there. I'm going to review what he said. Austin, if you'll pop that radar back up, I'd like to see that.
I'm doing that.
If you can do that. I'd like to see the radar again, just to see. And of course, Dwayne, we mentioned earlier that the storms that we get real concerned about are those that come from the south, take that trek. It looks like maybe through Alabama into central and north Georgia, on into southeast Tennessee. That's the path that we're seeing even today.
And that's true. A lot of times we feel like, and we sometimes hear that it's not true, but when Mont Eagle is part of the equation with a storm, we always feel like we've got a little bit of a hedge of protection there. And no Mont Eagle today. This is coming up, as Steve just mentioned, from the south area. And those are the ones who usually get us.
Those are, that's the weather officials, the emergency officials that I spoke with this morning. That was their concern. So right now, here at 2:21 Eastern Time, The radar, you know, there is rain, but as far as southeast Tennessee, as Austin pointed out, the sun is out in a lot of it's lightened up in a lot of our listening area right now. It is not bad. But what if I had to look, I'd look down at Mississippi and look at the border of Mississippi and Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and that direction, that line. If you're watching on Mix TV right now, and again, you can watch us at mymix1041.com. This is in the last, looking at the bottom here, it's the last 45 minutes, but that's the path you really don't want to see. And that is what, you know, I can start calling off years, and if you've been in Cleveland and Bradley County and Southeast Tennessee, Ohio, you can call those years off as well. But you know, that's the same general path, Austin.
You know, there's an adage: if it happens in Birmingham, it's going to happen in Chattanooga. And right now, there's a tornado warning out for Birmingham. The storms are really heating up down there. It's really starting to activate and move in and really make some damage. So, and down you look into Mississippi, there's already been several tornado warnings out earlier with circulation confirmed. Which, of course, those are not confirmed tornadoes, but the circulation was there. All the atmosphere is just ripe for all this stuff.
Yeah, they call these supercells too, and that's when you get really scared when they come on and start saying that these supercells are forming. And Austin mentioned this earlier, Steve. It's the thing where it's almost like a boxer. I mean, it's not just the one punch that gets you. It's that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 punch that gets you, and that's the way these storms are looking. As we've seen from earlier this morning to now, you're going to get that punch and you're going to get a lull. And just because we get into 5, 6 o'clock tonight and we have another lull, don't think it's over, because we're going to have those times for some of our listening areas. It's not going to be a constant rain from 4 or 5 whenever that starts till midnight. We're going to have durations of time. It could be lighter rain. We even may have another clearing off for a moment. So don't think that it's over and let you guard down after we get through another wave of showers.
Absolutely.
Let's hit some more of these closings right here. CHI Memorial Convenient Care will close at 3 o'clock today. Bradley County government offices, they have now closed. They closed at 2 o'clock. The Bread Basket closing at 2 o'clock today. That's in here, Austin. Thank you. Also Pure, also Cleveland Nutrition, Southside Nutrition, and East Hamilton Nutrition. They closed at 2. Taziki's closed at 2 o'clock. The Cleveland Bradley County Teachers Federal Credit Union closed both locations at 2 o'clock. Wholesale Supply Group closed all locations at 2 o'clock. Also, Mermaid Mattress is closing at 3, all 11 locations of Mermaid Mattress. The Old Fort Restaurant closing at 3. Honda of Cleveland closing at 4. Pediatric Dentistry is closed. Andrew Johnson Bank is closed. Leisure Time Bowling will not open. Toyota of Cleveland will close at 3. Southland Finance, Capstar Bank are closed. Cleveland Head and Neck is closed. Habitat Restore is closed. Flowers and Things is closed. Let's go to the phones. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
We're doing good. What are you seeing out there?
I'm over here in Wade County, and I'm going to call. I'm not seeing nothing right now. The roads is red. I was going to let you know, Faith Baptist in Dayton at 273 Old Graceville Road in Dayton. It's going to be having the basement open in case somebody needs to come.
Very important. That's great information. We have a lot of listeners in Ray County and the Dayton area. So for those people over there, boy, what a great call. Faith Baptist in Dayton opening their basement. It's wonderful. Thank you very much. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir. 273 Old Graceville Road.
273 Old Graceville Road, Faith Baptist. If you're in Ray County, the Dayton area, and you do not have anywhere to go that is safe, you can go to the Faith Baptist. Would you repeat the address one more time?
It's 273 Old Graceville Road in Dayton, Tennessee.
Okay, buddy. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you, sir. All right. See, that's the kind of thing that this audience that you can do is, if you got information that's pertinent, call us, and we'll put you on the air, and it does mean, if you want to go on there, it's fine. 614-6499, the volunteer Red Pest Mix line if you'd like to call in and just pass along the information to get passed along to us in here, you can do that. 472-6700, 472-6700. We're coming to the half hour, and what I want to do, Steve Hartline with Dwayne Williams, Austin Chadwick, Bridget is here. We can feel her evil spirit from the other. Oh, she's done pretty good.
She's done a great job today.
She's done pretty good.
Yeah.
And finally, and then Ashley Rue has helped out so much. Yvette Bond doing a tremendous job for us, and just on and on. Kristen Templeton. I start leaving people out. Jeremy Galt, tremendous job as always. Our team just really comes together in these times, but. Really, folks, we do it for you, and this is our first calling as public service, and is warning you. Dwayne, you got something?
Yeah, Ryan Felton, our correspondent over at the weather briefing, is also now telling us about the ready rooms. Steve, if you
go ahead.
Go ahead, okay. The ready rooms, he said they're expected to open Walker Valley at 4:30 this afternoon. Remember, Walker Valley, as Troy Spence told us a while ago with Bradley County EMA, said no pets at the Walker Valley shelter room there. And then the fire station ready rooms at 5 o'clock. Safe rooms for, of course, they're saying humans only. Closing times to be determined after the storms. And so that is, it feels now, Steve, you were talking about earlier that those were expecting to come, and I'll let you announce where those ready rooms are going to be at.
Okay, let me grab that. We also understand we're going to get Troy Spence back on with us because, and here in just a couple minutes, I am going to review the notes unless Troy calls. I'll let him do it. The very, very latest, it will be the final weather briefing of the day. The final weather briefing of the day. We'll get the very latest to you. All right, so Walker Valley will open their storm-safe ready room at 4:30, as Dwayne told you. And then the fire station ready rooms will open at 5 p.m. No pets. And the closing time is to be determined after the storms have passed. And we are expecting to hear from Troy Spence in a moment. And Dwayne, a very important note because we still are in a pandemic. It is not over. Dwayne, what are they telling us?
Well, we'll need to make sure that when you get to those ready rooms, you will need to have a mask and gloves. If you don't have those, they will provide those for you. But you must wear those while you're in those ready rooms. And, Steve, I have the list up if you want me to read that, if you've got something you need to do there, or if you want to read those.
Yeah, go right ahead. No,
okay.
You go ahead.
All right, so the Bradley County Rescue Station at Dalton Pike at Waterville, that's going to be close to the new golf course that's reopened there. The address, if you want, I'm going to give the addresses as well, Steve, in case I need to put in a GPS or something to get there. 3715 Dalton Pike is going to be that one location close to Waterville. And then the Bradley Fire and Rescue Station, Menace Road, located close to Parkview School. The address for that location is 365 Menace Road. And the Bradley Fire and Rescue Station, Georgetown Road at Hopewell, adjacent to the Volunteer Electric and Hopewell School. You'll find that at 5345 Georgetown Road. And then, of course, Walker Valley there in Charleston, 750 Lauderdale Memorial Highway. And those are actually the locations and addresses. If you needed those, we wanted to make sure you could put those in your GPS to find them.
Also, Oh Yeah Health and Fitness are providing a storm shelter, and they actually will allow people to spend the night if you would like, bring sleeping supplies to the Oh Yeah Health and Fitness. They are underground. That is the old Village Lanes. That's the Village Green Town Center. And who knows, you got to work out in and stay protected. Not bad.
Sound like a pretty good night.
That's like, you know what? That's like a lock-in.
That's right. A fitness lock-in.
Wear your mask.
Larry may be onto something.
That's interesting when we get out of all this. Yeah. All right, it is 2:30. Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to totally reset right now. Mix 104.1.
This is a severe weather update.
Brought to you by McIntyre and Associates Insurance. Good day, everyone. If you're just in tune here on the half hour at 2:31, we welcome you into live extended coverage of a impending severe weather situation for Cleveland, for Bradley County, really for our entire listening area, along with Dwayne Williams, Austin Chadwick kicking in here as well with us, Steve Hartline. Ryan Felton has been at the weather briefing, and he has been live corresponding with us from the briefing. They did not allow a broadcast from the weather briefing at 2 o'clock. This is at the Emergency Management Agency with the very latest, but we could have a reporter there. That was Ryan Felton. So let me bring you, if you are just joining us, the very latest. First of all, a flash flood warning is in effect until 4:15 this afternoon for our entire listening area. Again, a flash flood warning in effect until 4:15 for the area. The latest from the weather briefing is a new time period has been given between 5 p.m. and midnight. Between 5 p.m. and midnight. Severe potential. But in that time period, strong, long-track tornadoes are possible. Large 1-inch plus hail is possible. Damaging winds, quick rising water, flash flooding. There is a significant tornado risk. Repeat that. Again, when we came on the air, we said we did not want to panic anyone. We do not want to scare anyone unnecessarily. But we will tell you exactly as we are told. Exactly as we are told is there is a significant tornado risk. There is an elevated hail risk, elevated flash flooding risk. And this 5 to midnight time period is a little different than what has been said throughout the day. We were looking at that 2 p.m. briefing. We knew how important that was going to be. This will be the only briefing today. Well, it's not the only one. It'll be the last one. It's the last briefing today. They did an informal briefing earlier. Now, 2 to 3 inches of rain is possible, so they have upped. They, being the National Weather Service, are now saying that 2 to 3 inches of rain possible. And we should be hearing from Troy Spence, our EMA director, anytime. He's going to post-game with us and talk about it. Dwayne, I want to go over to you. What do you make of all this?
Yes, Steve, you can look at this a couple of different ways. Right now, with a little bit of sunshine outside and the break in the weather, we understand. I'm not a meteorologist, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. But speaking with Chief Meteorologist Paul Barris several times on the air during these type circumstances, he's always said when the temperature rises and you get in these situations where you clear out for a little while, that is not the best set of circumstances. You're better off to have these showers just kind of continuously roll on through. When you have these supercells that kind of filter in, filter out, and then they kind of fizz out, then you come back again later with those. That sets up for what we call the calm before the storm, the perfect storm. So that is not a good thing. But the other good thing that is with the later time is that people will hopefully have a chance to get home and be safe. School systems did an excellent job today getting the kids out early, getting the buses off the roadways during this time, during this lull, and hopefully with a lot of these businesses that we've been reporting on closing early, most of the adults and the working staff can get home as well before that 5 o'clock time.
You mentioned Paul Barris. I wonder if we get him on the air. You want to try that?
We can give that a shot.
Try effort that a little bit. We'd love to speak with Paul, and we are going to be taking a break here in just a moment. Of course, Paul Barris, you think about him, and he's been the chief meteorologist at Channel 3 since, 85, 86, something like that, and he made the announcement he'll be retiring come July. So we want to talk to him just as recently, or as much as we can. Austin Chadwick, let's go over to you.
WRCB has updated their maps to include Bradley County and parts of Polk County in that enhanced risk area. So we went from what was it this morning, the elevated risk to more of an enhanced risk. The pink circle, which is the real danger, is getting closer to the Chattanooga side, just west on Chattanooga side.
That is up, meaning when we say from one to the other, we went up, we didn't go down. So that's not a good thing there.
Yes, we stepped up just a little bit. It's kind of moved east a little bit more than what it was before, where they're predicting the strong tornadoes. They're predicting EF2 to EF5 tornadoes for tonight, and so that is something that has kind of changed since the briefing a few minutes ago. And then WRCB updated their maps, which of course they're our partners, and so I just wanted to get that out there.
Very, very important information. And again, headline of the hour is we have a chance to plan. And because of technology and because of all of these things that these people around me know a lot more about than I do, we have a chance to plan. And so as we're blessed in that way, quite frankly, everyone has the opportunity to make plans. One of those plans is these storm-safe ready rooms. We've got a question, I understand, from a listener or a viewer. By the way, we're on the radio, Mix 104.1. We're on the app. Folks, download our app. Make that part of your plan. It's free. Listen on your phone or mobile device. Your radio goes out or something like that. MyMix1041.com. But we're on Mix TV. MyMix1041.com. You can watch this. But someone asked about, and I don't know this, will any of the safe rooms allow pets? I don't know that. Does anybody know that?
Well, that is something that most of the time that they have, but this one hadn't really explained that yet. With COVID and everything going on and them trying to do social distancing as much as they can, that's probably a question we need to find out for sure.
All right, so we appreciate the question. Again, if anyone out there has something that you need to add or you feel is interesting or pertinent to the audience, some information, just like this wonderful call that we received just a few minutes ago. If you were listening a moment ago, you heard the call from Dayton. Thank you. The Faith Baptist Church is opening their basement. We have a lot of people listening in Dayton and Ray County. And well, they're opening it. So if you need it and you're in Ray County or Dayton in that area, God bless them. The Faith Baptist Church opening their basement. So if you got something like that, or you see something out there and you want to tell us, call us on the Volunteer Red Pest Mix line. The number is 423-614-6499. Yeah, that's to go on the air with us. I do like that first person type of report. Love to hear from you, and but if you don't, that's fine. You got something to add in here, and you want to just call and leave that with somebody, do that at also 423-472-6700. 472-6700. And let me, do you think we've hit the closings recently? I don't know if we have or not.
I know that you ran through those on our last break, Steve, but it may be, especially now that most of them are in that 2 to 3 o'clock window, might be worth mentioning.
All right, I'm going to do that, and then Dwayne, if you'll get the schools ready to go, and then we're going to take a break. We'll take a commercial break, and then on the other side of the commercial, our plan here, our structure here, if there is one, is to bring you at least every 20 to 30 minutes the complete picture. So you can count on that. About every 20 minutes, we like to bring you just everything. And we've got a lot of people working hard with us on this. I really appreciate them and their efforts this afternoon. It's 20 minutes before 3 o'clock. All right, CHI Memorial Convenient Care. They're going to close here in 20 minutes. They'll be closed at 3 o'clock. The Bradley County governmental offices are now closed. The breadbasket is closed. Also closed is Pure Bath Body and Mind, Cleveland Nutrition, Southside Nutrition, and East Hamilton Nutrition. The Cleveland Bradley County Teachers Federal Credit Union, both locations are now closed. Taziki's is closed. Wholesale Supply Group is closed. UTC will close at 2 o'clock, so they're closed. Mermaid Mattress is closing at 3 o'clock, 11 locations. The Old Fort is closing at 3. Hurry in there, say, Scotty, throw me a biscuit. And he'll do it. And you can catch it at the 20-yard line. I don't know. Honda Cleveland, Chris Harris says we're closing at 4 o'clock. Honda Cleveland closing at 4 o'clock. Pediatric Dentistry, they closed at 2 o'clock. Both locations, Andrew Johnson Bank, are closed. Leisure Time Bowling is not opening today. Toyota of Cleveland, Monte, they are closing at 3. Southland Finance, Dusty said they closed at 2:30, so they just closed. Capstar Bank closed at 2:30. Cleveland Head and Neck closed. Lee University, this was a 2 o'clock closing. Is that right?
That's the office closed at 2, and the classes ended at 1:15.
I've got 2 more, and I want to send it over to you, Dwayne, and make sure our text thread that we've got going and everything's all updated. But Habitat Restore is now closed, and Flowers and Things is closed. Dwayne?
Yeah, also Cleveland Plywood, we heard from them earlier. They're closing at 3 o'clock today. And True by BHB, the restaurant down in the Village Green, they are closed today as well. And I believe Erlanger Cardiology offices, Cleveland, Chattanooga, and Athens, those stores closed at 1 o'clock today. So that should be the latest that we have.
Let's go to the phones. Good afternoon.
Hey, this is Troy.
All right. Our buddy Troy Spence is the Cleveland Bradley EMA Director. All right, Troy, just want to turn it over to you. Let's talk about what you mentioned in the weather briefing.
Okay, so the Weather Service did get us up to date on what they expect, and this has increased. And they said a couple of things that really was stood out to everybody in the room. It says once-in-a-lifetime event of the risk that we possibly could have this afternoon. So this is not anything that's a joke. This is something that we should take very seriously. We should be prepared to take cover and have a location to go to. We're putting together right now the notification to send out to the public to let them know that we are going to open the safe rooms, when we're going to open them, and some information. We do not take pets at the shelter. They can't go in. Now, the fire hall has limited cages, so if you take your pet there, they're going to put it in a cage and leave it in the bay area, but you can't take it inside. It's just not, we're not prepared to do that, and some people have reactions to pets, so we will not allow them into the shelters. But we should be sending this out. You should get a notification that we will open Walker Valley at 4:30. And then at the fire halls, we'll open at 5 o'clock. Now, everybody needs to understand, when you show up, that you're going to be required to wear a mask. So if you have one, take it with you. They'll probably give you some gloves to wear while you're there, the entire time that you're there. And it will remain open until the storm passes. And then when it passes, we'll check the road conditions and make sure it's safe, and then we'll close the storm-ready rooms. And that's what we have right now, and we'll be sending out any warnings that need to go out to the public, just in case somebody don't want to go to one of those locations. I don't know if you've announced it about the business that's opening their doors. People can take their sleeping bags and go stay. Have you announced that yet, Steve?
Yeah. Is that? Oh, yeah.
That's correct, and that's an amazing gesture. Because people can actually stay the night, and they're prepared to let people do that.
Well, and
we can't do that in our storm-ready rooms, but certainly that's a good option if people need that option.
Troy, that is the old Village Lanes down at the Village Green. So that's down in a almost like a bunker down there, really. Yes, sir. It's underground. It's a great gesture. I mean, and a smart move if somebody wants to go there. They can take their sleeping bags, coolers, refreshments, and stay as long as they need to stay. Well, Troy, our storm-ready rooms, we will close them as soon as the storm passes. So that's how we have to do that. We're joined by Troy Spence, Emergency Management Agency Director in Cleveland and Bradley County. I've got a few questions for you. We had Ryan Felton corresponding for us from the briefing. Troy, what some of the things that Ryan reported on for us, they're calling this a significant tornado risk. Would you put that in perspective for us, please? About like it was last year on Easter. I mean, we were under a significant tornado risk at that point. And what they mean is
They can't guarantee there's going to be a tornado, but the conditions are going to be perfect. Just like the storm cleared out, if we don't actually have sunshine, which is a good thing, but the more warming we get, the more serious that the storms will be later this afternoon. And so this is it's interesting that it started at what it did at the first of the week, and now here we are at the end of the week, and the elevation of all the risk have continued to grow and grow and grow to what they're saying is a once in a lifetime risk to this area.
I really, really hate to hear that. Let's talk about time frame. They have changed the time frame a little bit, apparently from what the Weather Service is now saying, from 5 p.m. until midnight. Talk about the time frame, please.
Okay, so certainly we hope that the time frame speeds up, because we never want to get a big storm like this after it's dark, because it's hard to see what's coming at you and what's going on. But they're talking about two fronts that they're expecting to move through here, and even in between them, we could expect that we could get a tornado. So that span of time until that second front comes through here, we could have a tornado, even if it's not raining or anything like that. So we just need to be prepared.
We're joined by Troy Spence, live on the air following the weather briefing. And, I guess, Dwayne, you're kind of like me. You hear Troy repeat the words used by the National Weather Service as, quote, once in a lifetime, and you kind of gives you a little pause, doesn't it?
It does. And when I was writing that down, of course, you and I both making notes as Troy is talking there. And that is something that you don't want to write down on a weather report, for sure. And but I guess the main message that we've got to get out, Troy, I know that you would agree with me, be prepared. Don't underestimate this. If nothing happens, perfect, no problem. But if you're underprepared and something big does come through and you're underprepared, that's going to be a problem.
In my world, it's like plan, and pray you never use your plan. But today's the day that you should be ready to roll your plan out and do something. And if you don't have one, spend about 20 minutes and figure out what you're going to do, and then know that you can do it, so that you're prepared to take shelter at some place safe enough that hopefully will withstand a tornado if it comes to that.
All right, Emergency Management Director Troy Spence. Troy, I know we will be talking a lot, well, I don't know about a lot more, but more, and we cannot thank you enough for calling in. I really appreciate it.
Hey, and just so y'all guys know, we've gained almost 4,500 people signing up for the public notification system. I think a lot of people think that they were still on the old Nixle system. We have a new notification system, and everybody must sign up for it. And if y'all guys will help plug that, we can reach more people in a real quick, short time if need be. And thank you so much for doing that.
Troy, that's why we're here, buddy. That's why we're here. Okay, man? I appreciate you.
All right, buddy. Y'all have a good evening.
Okay, bud. We'll talk soon. Troy Spence. Hey, Troy? He's gone. I was going to say, if he has any updates, just have him call us back. A couple of things I want to point out, and just to review, if you're just joining us here, it's 10 minutes before 3 o'clock, Mix 104.1 on the radio. We're on the Mix 104.1 app around the world. You can listen on your phone or mobile device, and we cannot encourage you enough to download the free app, not because it's us, but because the information we can provide you straight to your phone, your mobile device. Go to mymix1041.com. Download the app. It's free, thanks to CHI Memorial. And then we're on Mix TV. That's our digital television channel. I'd like to see a radar picture here in a moment. It may have not changed much from the National Weather Service. Austin Chadwick directing our coverage beautifully. We're joined now by our colleague in so many ways, Josh Rogers. And Josh, you're giving us a reminder, and you will in just a moment, about the animals. But when you hear Troy Spence say, He's not saying that himself. Let me be very clear. He's quoting the National Weather Service saying the potential for a once-in-a-lifetime weather event. What do you think?
A little nerve-wracking. I'm sitting there thinking about my plan at my house. I don't really have a very great spot to be in. I've got a great shower at my house that's built up with walls and everything. So, and it's a big enough space for me and my dog. That's who lives at my house. And so for us to go in, but I'm thankful that my family, my dad, people like that, they have basements and they can go into that. But it's a little nerve-wracking. We shut down today, obviously at 2 o'clock, and we shut all of our stores down. And to hear that and think about what happened 1 year ago next week,
yes.
We had multiple team members of Wholesale Supply Group who were involved in the tornado. One member lost his house completely, was literally picked up. He lived in a mobile home. It picked up, carried that mobile home 100 yards, and then threw him another 100 yards out of the mobile home. Made it, survived, a lot of cuts and bruises and everything like that, but it's a scary thing. I just stopped by. I shopped down here at a pet store, and I got home, and my dog didn't have any food, and I didn't have any water, and bottled water or anything like that, and needed some extra stuff. So I ran out real quick to grab everything before I went and bunkered down at home. But it's a very, very scary thing when you hear it's a once in a lifetime event.
I have been talking with Troy Spence no less than 15 years. Doing these type of things and in these type of situations. I've never heard him say that. Now, I want to be very clear here. He was quoting the weather officials from the National Weather Service. You want to make a comment about animals, Josh? You were just talking about your dog.
Yeah, shoot, yeah. I sent you a text message a little bit ago, and
I just saw it actually. I've got about 100 right here.
About 25 minutes ago, I sent that text, and but no, we always talk about being prepared, keeping your family in safe, and there's a lot of people in this region that have outdoor pets, have outdoor animals, whether it's dogs or horses or whatever it might be. But make sure that those animals are taken care of, and that you try to bring them inside and and keep them warm and dry and safe during this time, because a lot of those outdoor pets and a lot of those, especially the dogs and everything, make sure they keep them safe and take care of them. So.
Well, Josh, can't hang around as long as you'd like. We are, I believe, going to be hearing from Ryan Felton, who did a tremendous job reporting.
Oh, it's been amazing.
For us from inside the room there.
It's been great.
Is someone in the back that maybe, speaking of water, what's the old hymn, fill my cup, Lord? Would somebody?
I'll be happy to.
Somebody.
I'll go get you some water.
I don't care who it is.
I'll go get you some water.
There may be a puddle outside. You just kind of scoop some up.
I'll go over here to Mouse Creek and fill that thing
up. Get us some holy water.
You heard what Bridget wanted to do with my blood the other morning. Are you kidding me?
Oh, my goodness.
All right, here we go. Thank you.
Hey, I do want to say one thing though is
for a dog fan.
Thank you. I do want to say one thing though is thank you to you two. I just stopped in to say hey to you guys, but thanks for you guys doing this. You guys are reaching a lot of people and trying to help keep a lot of people safe, and it means a lot to this
Thank you
community.
for saying that. That's why we're here. I want to go to the phone. Thank you, Josh. I want to go to the phone, and I believe we have Ryan Felton. Ryan?
Hello, Steve. Unfortunately, calling in this afternoon.
Well, no, buddy, I was saying about you earlier, you were in the room for us. You were really, in a lot of ways, buddy, you were this community's eyes and ears in the weather briefing. And please understand the spirit I say this. We just were asked not to broadcast. It's not that we weren't allowed, but that's okay, and we understand that. But Ryan, give us your impressions of the weather briefing that they held at 2 o'clock.
Obviously, Troy and the other folks there are doing everything they can to make sure the community is as prepared as possible, and they're as prepared for, whatever ends up coming our way. And Lord willing, nothing, but we'll see what happens. Obviously, the weather readiness rooms will be open at the 3 designated county fire stations. Those open starting at 5 p.m. The ready room at Walker Valley High School will open starting at 4:30 this afternoon. They will provide it if necessary, but they'd like you to bring your own PPE, the personal protective items like your mask and your gloves, they will be required to be in the room. They did note animals are not allowed in the specific safe room areas. So if you do bring pets to, say, one of the fire stations, they do have some places to put them, but they will not be, in those safe areas. And then I believe they're not allowed at all at Walker Valley. They'll leave those rooms open as late this afternoon into this evening as they see it necessary, depending on when the storms come and go and how that all is handled. We do have I believe, flash flood warning. We've already gotten, I think, somewhere between 1 and 2 inches. We could easily get another 1 or 2 inches this afternoon and into this evening. These storms, according to the National Weather Service out of Morristown, they were on in the meeting. We have the potential of high winds. We definitely have the potential for tornadoes, including long-lasting, long-staying on the ground, very strong storms and tornadoes. There is the potential for up to inch or larger sized hail with some of these storms that we could be seeing. We're in sort of a 5 p.m. to midnight range is their expectation for Bradley County and the surrounding area. There's obviously no guarantee there, but they're constantly monitoring. Troy and the group are going to be sending out the emergency management text messages through that new system. If you are not signed up, and Steve, feel free to correct me on this, I believe it's on their Facebook page, and the information I think is also on our Facebook page for you to sign up for those alerts, because it's not the same system it's been in years past. You do have to sign up for this system. It's completely free, but it is by text message, and you do have to sign up for it. I think he said 4,000 people have signed up, I think, in the last 24, 48 hours. They're trying to get back to, the numbers of people we had signed up on the old system, and, just trying to get people the information as easily accessible as they possibly can. And they've been sending messages all morning for different closings and the things that are coming up. I believe they actually just maybe 10 minutes ago sent out the message about the storm ready rooms and the specific details on when those will open, where you can find those. I believe the county has 4 as it stands right now. And I know, as you guys mentioned on air earlier, Oh Yeah Fitness is also opening up to the public their very large underground space that they have also available. It's just kind of it's a wait and see kind of thing, but it's a wait and see with the expectation we could have a very serious afternoon into the evening of severe weather. It is highly possible, in their estimation, very likely that we will see some amount of severe weather come into the system come into the area in the next 2 or 3 hours, and just kind of on into the evening as those systems progress sort of to the north and to the east, anywhere from North Carolina on into Virginia, Kentucky, already down in Alabama with tornado warnings, and just kind of across most of middle and eastern Tennessee. And their expectation, high winds in the mountains, just in general, potential of very high winds with these storms everywhere. So they're just, they're urging people to, to be careful, stay off the roads as much as possible. If you want to go to one of the storm-ready rooms, you're absolutely welcome. They do have capacities on those areas, and they'll I'm sure the public notify them if rooms get to capacity and do close. But they do have some amount of capacity on those. I know Walker Valley being the largest, but and there will be police officers and emergency personnel on hand at the ready rooms to some extent. I know the SROs obviously at Walker Valley, things like that. So they're doing everything they can to prepare as much as possible, be ready, see what happens, and be ready in a moment to respond as they need to, as they always do. Obviously, we've already had a lot of rain today, and the roads are already in some places not good by any means. So
Ryan Felton,
as much as possible.
Ryan, great reporting. We can't thank you enough for what you did. As I said, you, in a lot of ways, were the eyes and ears of this community and this area in that room, and so we really appreciate it.
Happy to help, Steve.
Okay, buddy.
Great job, Ryan.
Good job, man.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Ryan Felton. Great family. Hello, Rudy. Rudy and Debbie. And
taught him everything he knows.
There you go. 3 o'clock. We are going to completely take a wide shot and reset everything. We're going to begin with Fox, World, and National News. If this prediction is to be believed, and I say that very respectfully, but if this comes down, folks, we're in about a 2-hour window now until we are told that what is being described as the potential for a once-in-a-lifetime. Weather people don't talk like that normally. once in a lifetime severe weather event could be coming upon Cleveland, Bradley County, and southeast Tennessee. So we're going to run down our full information. We're going to begin with Fox World and National News to start the 3 o'clock hour. Good day.
Broadcasting from the Kia of Cleveland Studios, this is Mix 104.1 WCLE, Calhoun, Cleveland, Athens. Download the free Mix 104.1 app at mymix1041.com.
Fox News is next, presented by Capital Tire Service in downtown Cleveland.
Fox News, I'm Karen McHugh. 65 days into his administration, and President Joe Biden held his first formal news conference. He said that now that his goal of 100 million coronavirus vaccines being administered has been met, he added,
Now today I'm setting a second goal, and that is we will, by my 100th day in office, have administered 200 million shots.
President Biden at the White House. Regarding the immigration crisis at the southern border, the president said the increase in numbers is seasonal.
It happens every single solitary year. There is a significant increase in the number of people coming to the border in the winter months.
The president added that the same sort of influxes happened during the Trump administration. America is listening to Fox News.
The Mix 104.1 News Desk, brought to you by Logan Thompson Law, a tradition of legal and community service. That's Logan Thompson Law at LoganThompsonLaw.com.
The all-new Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Cleveland, right off I-75 and exit 20, the better way to buy.
Mix 104.1, powered by Tennessee Valley Federal Credit Union.
That wasn't a real car. I was making car noises with my mouth. I'm local musician Suevo. Get a car loan at tvfcu.com and hear what a real car sounds like. Vroom, vroom, vroom.
It's March Mania at Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland, and they're offering low monthly payment specials. The 2021 Frontier SV, sale price at $26,395. That's $373 per month and zero down. That's right, zero down. The 2021 Rogue Sport S, sale price at $19,965 at only $282 per month and zero down. And don't forget, Mountain View Nissan is offering $4,000 above KBB for your trade. Visit in person on exit 20 off I-75 or online at cleveland-nissan.com. Payments are per month on 75 months at 1.9 APR.
The long-standing manufacturer in Cleveland, Duracell, is hiring. The Cleveland plant is now accepting applications, both entry-level and experienced positions available. Jobs starting at $15 to $18.42 per hour. Duracell offers great benefits, health insurance, dental, vision, a 401k plan, and more. Benefits become active on the first day of employment. At Duracell, they are celebrating their 60th year of continuous operation. Apply now at Duracell.com. That's Duracell.com.
Don Ledford Chevrolet Buick GMC in Cleveland's having their annual courtesy vehicle sale, where you can save up to $15,000. They have 8 of these under 5,000-mile vehicles. They qualify for 0% interest up to 84 months and no money down. Payments start as low as $277 per month. Come in today. They will not last long. Do not miss this opportunity to save really big and drive for less at Don Ledford Chevrolet Buick GMC in Cleveland, where they say yes. 0% interest, no money down for well-qualified customers with GM Financial. Savings on vehicles varies on vehicle selected. Go to donledford.com. Specials for details.
Life-saving cardiac care is now at Erlanger East Hospital. When it's a heart attack, closer is faster, and faster saves lives. Learn more at erlanger.org/EastSTEMI.
COVID can't stop us. We're taking the 2021 Boat Show event of the year outside, March 23rd through the 28th at Irwin Marine. New boats, used boats, giveaways, and more. Admission is free. Go to emboatshow.com for details. Irwin Marine Sales, Chickamauga Marina by the dam.
Lifetime Certified is the new buzz in town for Vehicles Direct. 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty. Lifetime powertrain warranty. Complimentary maintenance for 1 year. Love it or leave it, satisfaction guaranteed. Vehicles Direct, South Lee Highway in Cleveland at APD 40. Visit vehiclesdirect.com.
Here at Mermaid Mattress, we're revolutionizing the way you shop. We offer actual stores you can visit to try your new mattress before you buy it. Mermaid Mattress, we're just around the corner.
This weather forecast is brought to you by Discovery Outlet. Save up to 70% off name brand merchandise every day at Discovery Outlet. Locally owned and operated on North Lee Highway in Cleveland next to Don Ledford Automotive. Discovery Outlet, where smart shoppers save.
Download the free Mix 104.1 app. Listen to Mix 104.1 live on your phone or mobile device. Watch Mix TV, plus sign up for the Mix Alert news email. All at mymix1041.com. Presented by CHI Memorial.
This is a severe weather update.
And we are just past 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Time at 3:06. Good afternoon, everyone. You're listening to Mix 104.1 on the radio or on the Mix 104.1 app on your phone or mobile device. Download our app. That could be very, very handy, especially later. Go to mymix1041.com. We're on Mix TV. You can watch our coverage on Mix TV at mymix1041.com. It was called in a weather briefing at 2 o'clock, a potential for a once-in-a-lifetime weather event. That is what we are facing at this hour, as the time frame has now been crystallized a little more. Between 5 p.m. and midnight is now the prediction from the National Weather Service. The weather briefing held at about 2 o'clock this afternoon at the Emergency Management Agency, and Emergency Management Agency Director Troy Spence telling us here in the last few minutes that the National Weather Service saying that this has the potential, this weather event, we're going to get into more detail in a second, has the potential to be a once-in-a-lifetime weather event. And so we're on the air, and we are asking the public to prepare, to plan, to have a plan for this evening, especially between the 5 p.m. and midnight time frame. I am joined by Dwayne Williams, Austin Chadwick, Josh Rogers is with us here. We have our team working both in front of the microphones and behind the microphones. And Dwayne, I want to begin with you because Troy Spence, also the EMA director, making the announcement that the safe rooms, the storm safe rooms, will open.
Yeah, let's give you those locations, Steve. I'm going to actually, if you want to get a pen or something, folks, we're going to give you the physical address just in case you're not familiar with that, so you can put that in your GPS there. Bradley Fire Rescue Station, Dalton Pike at Waterville. It's going to be adjacent to the golf course there. The address, 3715 Dalton Pike. And then also the Bradley Fire and Rescue Station, Menace Road, located very close to Parkview School. Their address is 365 Menace Road. Also, Bradley County Fire and Rescue Station, Georgetown Road at Hopewell, adjacent to Volunteer Electric and Hopewell Elementary. That is going to be located at 5345 Georgetown Road Northwest. Again, 5345 Georgetown Road is the address. And then we also mentioned Walker Valley High School at 750 Lauderdale Memorial Highway. A couple of things, Steve, we want people to recognize about these safe rooms is that Walker Valley will not allow pets at all. If you've got pets you want to take with you. The fire stations, the rescue stations, they will allow pets. But keep in mind that they will be put in cages in the Bay Area. They will not be allowed to go back where people will be gathering to stay in those safe rooms. And keep in mind, too, they're asking you to bring your own PPE, which is your face mask, your gloves, those type things, hand sanitizer with you. If you've got that, if you do not, they will provide it. And it is mandatory that if you're going to be in one of these safe rooms, that you will have to have that to be able to stay in there. But again, people have been asking on our Facebook page and things like that about pets. Pets can come to those areas where the fire stations are at, not at Walker Valley, and they will be put in a cage and put in the Bay Area, which means that they will not be able to be with you physically in the back where other people will be gathered. Also, Steve, I know that we got a very special announcement from our friends at Oh Yeah Health and Fitness Complex. I'll come over to you for that special announcement.
Yeah, the owner of Oh Yeah, Larry Gurney, got in touch with me earlier this afternoon. He said, Steve, he and the staff there are going to open the fitness facility, which is a portion of that is underground. They are going to open as a shelter. So if you have nowhere to go for during the storm and the predicted storm period, again, that is between 5 and midnight. Between 5 and midnight, Oh Yeah Health and Fitness is at the Village Green Town Center. Bring sleep supplies, bring coolers, that sort of thing. They aren't all they're providing is the facility. They are providing their facility, and they are open most hours of the night anyway. And they said, Larry Gurney, the owner, our friend Joe there, who is the general manager, they're saying just come in. And that is a true shelter. You can, as Dwayne talked about the differences earlier, you can actually spend the night if you need to. I also want to add, we got that good call a few minutes ago, 30 minutes ago maybe, from Dayton, Tennessee. The Faith Baptist Church is acting as a shelter. You can go in the basement. If you're in Dayton or Ray County, you do not have a safe place to be during this predicted weather event. The Faith Baptist Church in Dayton is volunteering their basement. And so if you've got something like that, if you've got something, it doesn't have to be that, but something you feel is pertinent, the community needs to know about, call us on the volunteer Red Pass Mix line at 614-6499. I want to go back over some of the notes from the weather briefing earlier, and some of the things that stuck out to me, and then some of the things that Troy Spence called us. The weather briefing is the final weather briefing today. Was at 2 o'clock at the Emergency Management Agency. And we had Ryan Felton there in the room. Ryan called a few minutes ago. But then Troy Spence called us. If you missed it, Troy, our EMA director, that's the emergency, we use a lot of initials, Emergency Management Agency, called us after the briefing. The briefing is held by the National Weather Service. Okay, so whoever was conducting the briefing used the language, and Troy quoted, the potential for a once-in-a-lifetime weather event. Now, that sends a chill down every spine with a heart that I can think of. And that is not language normally associated with the National Weather Service in a briefing scenario. You don't hear that. I've been doing this a long time. You do not hear that. So very, very serious, saying the potential for a once-in-a-lifetime weather event. Also, and Dwayne, you can fill in the gaps. And we got caller, just hang on. We're going through this, and we'll get to the phone. Also, a significant tornado risk, and that is where Troy Spence said, well, we had a significant risk 1 year ago. The tornadoes, we had 5 that night, that Easter Sunday night, 1 year ago. So we're under that same type of risk.
Yeah, Troy Spence also mentioned that there should be 2 fronts moving through tonight. So, again, do not let your guard down. After maybe this first big wave of severe weather comes through our area, from what Troy Spence was telling us from that weather briefing, they should be 2 fronts coming through, and the second one will be later in the evening, and that one could even be more significant than the first as far as the risk of tornadoes, significant risk of tornadoes. So please just stay weather aware. Make sure you've got your phone completely charged so you can be in tune if you do lose power. That is something we haven't talked a lot about, Steve. You know, we talk about tornadoes, and of course that is the elephant in the room that we don't want to talk about. But also things that are very significant is wind. You can have high winds, and that can bring down trees with all the rain that we've had and power lines and trees on homes and cars. You can have entrapment and things like that with just high winds as well. So just be mindful of that. Move your car away from trees, that if you can do that, and then just be ready for any circumstance that may come your way.
Elevated hail risk, also mentioned. Elevated flash flooding. We're under a flash flood warning for the next 1 hour until 4:15 in this area. And again, folks, 5 to midnight. That's the time period. That is a revised time period. Now, 5 p.m., about an hour and a half from now, until midnight. Let's go to the phones. Mix 1041.
Yeah, I was calling for another shelter update. The city of Graceville over in Wade County is going to be opening up a shelter at the City Hall at 295 Long Street in Graceville.
Okay, that is very helpful. So we have listeners in the Graysville area, Ray County, and I'll just have you repeat that one more time.
There's going to be a shelter opened down at the Graceville City Hall. Service animals is welcome, no other pets. It's going to be at 295 Long Street.
All right.
Graceville, Tennessee.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much for the information. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
614-6499, area code 423. If you have something that you'd like to pass along and bring to us here, 5 until midnight is the time frame that the National Weather Service says to be very weather aware. We just got a late note, Dwayne, from Jenkins Deli. If you want to, do you have that?
Let's see here. I did have
that's in the group deal we're doing.
Got it right
keep
here.
Everybody informed.
Yes, from Jenkins Deli, say due to the danger upgrade from TEMA, we have decided not to open Jenkins today out of an abundance of caution. Jenkins say stay safe, stay weather aware, and that they will see you tomorrow. So Jenkins not opening today out of abundance of caution.
Hey, Austin, I don't know, can I hear Austin? Austin, can I hear you back there? Or I'd like the radar if we could get that. Hey.
I'm here.
So Austin,
yes, there you go.
Austin Chadwick, who has worked in television in Chattanooga for many years before coming here. He's our TV producer and fast becoming a matinee idol. I hate to say that. Austin, tell me what we're seeing here now. If you're listening on the radio, you say, "What are you seeing?" Well, we are seeing I guess, is this the Channel 3 National Weather Service?
It is Channel 3. It's WRCB's weather map. And if you can see down around the Huntsville, Alabama, and then going down towards Birmingham, and those areas, the storms are really vamping up. They're really starting to pick up speed. There's been that break in the weather where the atmosphere is warmed up, and now those strong storms are kicking in. And so this is what's heading straight towards us. This is what's going to come up from the southwest and is heading towards Chattanooga, heading towards Cleveland. This is the set of dangerous storms that we're talking about, that we've talked about all day since this morning. And all I can say is this is the beginning of it. This is what's coming at us. Be prepared. Be somewhere by 5 o'clock. Be in place. Plan to be there until at least 11 o'clock midnight tonight.
Yeah, it's very interesting. We talked about the storm path that this is following, and it is coming up from Alabama. Josh Rogers, you were talking about that's the Scottsboro area.
Yeah, most weather we always say around where we're at is if we get weather up through Scottsboro, then it normally comes towards us here in Cleveland. And so we've actually got a store down there in Scottsboro. I was texting with some of my friends down there that at our store, and they're saying that it's getting pretty ugly down there. And so that's kind of one thing that I've always been told to look at up here is if what happens in Scottsboro, Alabama, it's normally going to come up towards Cleveland and Chattanooga area. And one thing that I do want to mention is that Troy was saying earlier was talking about text the word join CBC-EMA to 30890. That's a way for you to be able to get updates from the local government and Troy Spence and all those guys as well.
Dwayne?
Steve, one thing that Troy said, you mentioned this earlier, but it just tells us the severity of what is going to be happening most likely throughout the afternoon, late afternoon into the evening hours. Quote from what Troy Spence said, once in a lifetime weather event. And the risk is higher than we've seen in quite some times. But the main thing is the words we got to get out. If you don't hear anything but 2 words this afternoon, be prepared. Those are the 2 words that we can't say enough this afternoon, because if you're not prepared and one of these unfortunately comes through your neighborhood, your community, and you're not prepared, it's not going to wait for you to get your plan together. You got to do that now while you have an opportunity, whether that's deciding as a family in a unit where that safe place is in your home. Go ahead and dictate where that's going to be and just give a code. If I say the word go, that means everybody in this household has to go to that spot we predetermined. You grab the cat, I'll grab the dog. We'll grab maybe a mattress from the bedroom, and we're going to go in this room. We're going to shelter in place there. That is something that's very important, is to have that family plan and make sure everybody is aware of that. And another thing we talked about pets, and we talked about the safe rooms. Make sure those pets are inside as you go through the evenings. I know some of us have outdoor pets and animals that stay outside on a regular basis. You need to go ahead and prepare for them as well. They do not need to be outside if you've left them out there maybe through the first part of the day. They need to be somewhere safe as well so they can be protected if these storms come through as we're predicting. So do that. It's the simple things that sometimes we forget about. And then, Steve, another thing you got to do to get prepared right now, plug up your cell phone. If you don't have your phone charging, you're draining power. You could need that at 10, 11 o'clock tonight, whether that's to get music or not music, but news from us here at Mix 104.1, or whether it's to be able to tune in to our app. Maybe it's to tune in to WRCB. Maybe whatever the circumstances are, that phone becomes a lifeline, is really what that phone becomes to you after power is out all over the area. So make sure you got the cell phone alerts on and be ready for all of that.
Good points. Joined Austin. You were talking about Austin Chadwick back in our control room, Mix TV. You can watch the coverage at mymix1041.com. Click Mix TV. Austin, you were talking about the updated maps and the updated threat levels probably 30 minutes ago. Will you kind of repeat that for people who may just be in tune?
Yes, they changed it during the 2 o'clock briefing for the National Weather Service to bring us from a elevated to a more of a, I forget what the word is they use, but more of a heightened risk for tornadoes in Bradley County and even extending over to Polk County. I had that map pulled up earlier. Let's see here. This is what's changed. So before, the red area on this screen here, which you can watch on Mix TV, the red area only extended into parts of Bradley County. Now they've moved it over further east, saying that the storms are going to come up through directly towards Chattanooga, Bradley County, and to Polk County. And then, of course, as you go further east, it drops off a little bit there.
I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate here, and I'm going to look at this. And I'm going to, and you tell me here, and I'm not sure when did you say this came out? Let me get that first.
This was about an hour ago.
Okay. If I'm looking at this, and this is can you go back to that other screen, or are they switching it?
Yes.
And I'm seeing 10%. Explain that to me. I'm not very bright, as you know.
Okay, when forecasters forecast, let's say that it's a 50% chance of rain, that means that it will rain at some place 50% of that area. That 50% of that area will get rain. Well, in this case, this is a tornado map. This is a tornado risk map, and it is saying that 10% of the area in the red will see a tornado.
Okay. So it's not it's because, I'm a layman here. I'm looking at them, 10% chance. But what you're saying is that means there is that 10% of this red area is going to have a tornado, at least one.
Yes, and what they're calling for EF2 to EF5 tornadoes. They've skipped EF1. They've said that these tornadoes, once they are on the ground, they're going to be massive tornadoes. There's going to be several of them. If you look at the radar map, how it kind of breaks up, they're all in individual cells. That means that, as Dwayne said earlier, and we've said all day, that it's going to be a 1-2 punch, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to see a little bit of a break, and then the next storm's going to come. And this is whenever it gets most dangerous for people, because people let their guard down. They think, oh man, that's already passed, I'm good. And even some people will go outside and they'll put themselves at risk. They're not prepared. The thing that the Weather Service is telling us that we need to be in place from 5 until midnight tonight, because this is a storm system that's going to last for 5 hours, 5.5, 6 hours.
Well, that is quite a long period, Dwayne.
Also, one of the things, Austin, I believe we were hearing earlier this morning when we were checking in with meteorologist David Carnes of Channel 3. He was saying typically you're looking at that red that's on the tornado risk map right now, 10%. He said typically 2 to 3% is what we see. 2 to 3% is high for our area when we have these type storms come through. 10%, you can do the math yourself. That's 3 times more than we normally see.
And it just like Austin was saying, each one of those little cells has the potential to be a tornado. And so when we're starting to see 3, 4, 5 multiple cells happen, that's the possibility of multiple tornadoes. We were watching at the office earlier today, watching David and Brittany on their Facebook Live, and what David was saying during that time, David Carnes, WRCB, was that this is the first time in all the years that he's been doing this where everything looks like it's coming together to be one of the worst things that he's seen in his time doing it. It's
And see, if you remember last year during the Easter tornadoes, I remember I was sitting in my bathtub at the house, and we were trying to figure out
I was on the toilet, brother. I was on the toilet.
Okay, well, TMI.
TMI, Josh.
Yeah.
But we were trying to figure out where the tornado was, and we kept texting back and forth saying, well, it's in Collegedale. Well, no, it's over around the south side of Cleveland. Well, ultimately, there ended up being 3 different cells that was here in Cleveland. And that's where it becomes dangerous, is because you don't know where it is exactly when there's so many of these individual cells popping up. If the tornado's touching on the ground, jumping back up, touching again, or there could be 2 or 3 happening at one time. And so that's why you need to find your shelters, stay in place, and wait until everything clears.
We are joined now. Let's go to the phones here. The pastor of First Baptist Cleveland, Jordan Easley, is on the phone. Good afternoon, Pastor. How are you?
Steve, I'm doing pretty well, man. We are getting prepared like the rest of our community is getting prepared for the storms that are coming. Sure do appreciate you and all your coverage and just up-to-the-minute update on what's going on around us.
Well, I'm joined here, as you know, by Dwayne Williams, Josh Rogers. We have Austin Chadwick. We've got our team working hard. And you know, you think back, Pastor, about a year ago next week, the tornadoes that hit on Easter, and I also think about First Baptist Cleveland's response to the East Cleveland area. We've got the words used from the weather briefing at 2 o'clock, once in a lifetime. We don't like those words, that is the potential here this evening and tonight in our area.
Yeah, that's not what you want to hear at all, especially when you consider, the devastation that we experienced about 51 weeks ago on Easter. I mean, it was, we're still kind of recovering from that, about 70 families lost their homes. And so this community has been through this before, and as we brace for impact now, I think that the appropriate thing to do is just to pray and ask the Lord to protect our city. And to just prepare us for whatever's coming at us right now.
Well, would you do that, please? I'd like for you to lead our community and our area in a prayer of God's protection over everyone.
Man, I'd love to do that, Steve. Before I do that, I'd love to just recall a passage out of Isaiah 43, verse 2. It's a verse that says, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. You know, a lot of times we see the flames and we see the rivers and we see the waters, and we forget that there is a God who loves us and is for us and is our protection. Now, that doesn't mean that we are exempt. It doesn't mean that we will never experience bad things in this life, but it does mean that God is in control. And when God's people go to the Lord and they pray, I believe he hears our prayers. And so, man, I would be honored to lead our community in just a time of prayer as we say, God, we trust you and we depend on you even in this season. Can we pray right now?
Please do.
Father, we love you and we do trust you. We're thankful that you are the God that will be with us. You promise us that that we pass through the rivers, that they will not sweep over us. God, you say that when we walk through the fire, that we won't be burned, that the flames will not set us ablaze. We are reminded that you are the only God that has the power to make that promise. And so, God, today with faith, we come to you asking your protection over our community. And God, I pray for the communities around us. I pray that these storms will blow over. And Father, we thank you for the rain, but we just pray that the danger that comes with the rain would avoid us at all costs. God, I'm reminded from Matthew chapter 8 where Jesus is sleeping in the bottom of a boat, and we're reminded that even the winds and the waves obey him. So God, in the name of Jesus, we just ask that the winds and the waves obey him, and that the storm would blow through, and that your hand of protection would fall in our community. And so, God, thank you in advance for what you're going to do. We trust you in the good and we trust you in the bad, but God, we're praying that you would bless us in this season and that you would protect us, protect our families, and God, allow us to see your glory even through the scary seasons. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Pastor Jordan Easley, First Baptist, thank you, Pastor. We really appreciate it, and you stay safe out there.
Hey, you too, Steve. You let us know how we can serve this community as we walk through this together.
Thank you very much. Will do. Thank you. That is Pastor Jordan Easley at First Baptist. We really appreciate him doing that. We just got a note from Ruthie Forgy. She is the commander of the Salvation Army. They have supplies and a team sitting on go at the Salvation Army here in Cleveland and Bradley County on Inman Street. We have crossed a half hour here, 3:32. We are about 90 minutes away from what is going to be, is predicted, the words being used, a once-in-a-lifetime weather event potential. And that is the words that were used at the weather briefing earlier. I know we have a caller, hang on, but I do want to mention that if, and we cannot repeat this enough, that if you are not in a safe a home for a storm, or you don't have a safe place to go, the following areas have been or will be open tonight, or at 4:30 actually, at Walker Valley High School in 1 hour. Walker Valley High School is opening at 4:30 as a storm safe ready room. No pets. Now, the fire halls are also going to be open at the Bradley County Fire and Rescue Station on Dalton Pike at Waterville, the Bradley County Fire and Rescue on Menace Road, and Bradley Fire and Rescue Georgetown Road at Hopewell. They will open at, 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock, yes.
5 o'clock. And then here's another place you can go. Oh, yeah, Health and Fitness. That's underground. That's at the Village Green, and you actually could spend the night there if you would like. Take your sleep supplies. All they are doing, Larry Gurney, the owner of Oh Yeah Health and Fitness, is opening the facility to the public. You know anybody that would like to take advantage of that, or you yourself, take your sleeping supplies, a cot, something like that, sleeping bag. They will open their facility to the public. Those of you who may not have a place that is safe for a storm like we are anticipating, the timetable between 5 and midnight. Dwayne, we did get some word A couple of callers from the Ray County area. What are they saying?
Yeah, they're saying that City Hall there in Graysville, located at 295 Long Street, that would be a shelter that people there in the Ray County, Dayton area would be able to go. And then also Faith Baptist there in Dayton, located at 273 Old Graysville Road there in Ray County. Those two places would be available for shelters this evening as well.
I do want to hit a couple of other notes from the weather briefing held at 2 o'clock at the Emergency Management Agency that was conducted by the National Weather Service, and a couple of other things here. They are estimating 2 to 3 inches in total rain for the area during this event. The timetable, again, is between 5 p.m. and midnight. You need to be speaking to your family, to your to make, and as Austin said earlier, check on your elderly neighbors. There are people, folks, they don't know this is happening. They don't know this is even happening. There are people out there. Make sure your friends and neighbors know about it. Know to take cover. This also significant tornado risk, elevated hail risk, elevated flash flooding. And here, you know, Ryan Felton did a great job. He was our correspondent in the room there. I'll go back. Severe potential late between 5 and midnight. Strong, long-track tornadoes are possible. Large 1-inch plus hail is possible. Damaging winds, quick rising water, flash flooding, and the significant tornado risk. Now that, as Troy Spence told us earlier, that is the same grade of risk we had Easter a year ago. But here's the disturbing thing. I told you when I signed on at 1 o'clock this afternoon that we're just going to level with you. We're not trying to scare anybody. We're not trying to panic anybody. But the words were used by the National Weather Service in the briefing, and Troy Spence repeated them to us here about 30 minutes ago or so, maybe longer. Quote, once in a lifetime. We have the potential for a once-in-a-lifetime weather event. What do I hope? I hope and pray that all of this is for nothing. Boy, Josh, wouldn't that just be wonderful?
I'm praying. I'm looking at reports currently now that over in Meadowbrook, Alabama, tornadoes are starting to touch down over in South Birmingham area.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And Wholesale has, you guys have stores in Scottsboro, is that right?
We do, yeah. We have a store in Scottsboro, but it's talking about dark clouds were swirling as a tornado formed in Meadowbrook, Alabama, which is south of Birmingham, and it's a pretty big tornado. They've got Griffin Hardy, who is out of looks like CBS 42 in Birmingham, is talking about a tornado that has touched down with debris around Highway 119, which is definitely outside of this listening area, but looking at the trajectory and paths of where these cells that we're seeing that are coming this way, to see that there's already things starting to happen in Alabama. You know, our thoughts and prayers are with those people down in Alabama near Pell City.
We're on Mix 104.1 on the radio. We're on, please download our app for free. Make sure you can get the information you need throughout the night on your phone or mobile device. Go to mymix1041.com. And right at the top, you're going to see where you can download the app, get it on your phone. And you can listen. You will get alerts that way. We've got a great team who handles all this. Our app is free, courtesy of CHI Memorial. And then we are on Mix TV. This is our new digital television channel. Go to mymix1041.com. It is there. And let's go to the phones. Good afternoon.
Hello, Steve Jr.
Well, this is an angry caller on line 10.
Not a good day to be angry, Junior.
This is my mother. Hello, Mom.
Hello, son. Quickly, 2 reasons I called. In 1974, my daddy would always pray in days like this. It's a good idea for everybody to do that today. when I listened to you to begin with, I heard Gary Spears praying, and I'm very grateful. God hears us. He hears us. My daddy had prayed, and we were in the basement of the church, Steve Jr. He's 74, and he went upstairs, and he looked outside, and he saw the tornado going over the church. He loved the building. He loved the church, loved the people, and God answered his prayer. Many people have stories like that, and I am grateful for the Bible says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, and we know the verse. Another thing, I want to thank you and everybody associated with you for the work you're doing. You're not at home in your basement. These other people are not with their families. That means the world to me, because again, as you've been told, Steve Jr., more than one time in situations like this, you are a conduit for those who don't have and don't know, to those who do know, like Troy Spence, paramedics, people, firefighters today, regardless, policemen today, people with Troy Spence, everyone who is working as much as they know how with every resource available to bring information to Cleveland and Bradley County. In my heart, I don't know how to do all that. And those that are in your building with you right now, your mother's heart is saying, thank you, Steve Jr., for the effort. You know God equips you where he calls you, and you have tremendous ability, Steve Jr., and a compassion, and those around you, you're doing a superb job. But for those people, the gym where the village, that was the village bowling alley when I was growing up, all of those places, the church in Ray County, people, you either are lacking at a time like this and wish you'd done more, or you stepped up and you're doing heroic things, and God sees this and he's pleased. And I thank God that Jesus stood up in the boat and he said, peace be still, Steve Jr., and the elements obeyed him, and he's still God today. Your mother's proud of you, and I'm going to cry, whatever. You know, Troy Spence didn't cry, so I thought I would.
Well, why don't you go ahead, Mom, and Brad Benton is listening. Brad, I want you to put your hand on the radio. Mom is going to lead you in the sinner's prayer.
Whatever. So you're Brad Benton's judge. Junior, I said wonderful things, and you end my conversation like this. Hang up, Junior, and go back on the radio. I love you very much.
Love you,
bye.
I love
Brad
you.
Benton,
Thank you, Mother.
I'm sorry, Brad Benton.
God
Bye.
bless her. God bless her. Well, I guess.
Hang up, Junior.
What?
Hang up, Junior.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Thank you. Well, I guess we've started with a cooking sherry early. Is that what's going on here?
Well, we need all the blessings we can get, and if I was looking for a blessing, one of those people I would look for would be your mother.
That's true.
Definitely.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. Thanks, Mom. 17 before 4 o'clock. And we are going to come back. We're going to take a break here. We're going to come back on the other side. And we're really going to give you that full picture one more time in this afternoon period. We are right now looking at between 5 and midnight is that time frame, and so we are concentrating on that. Josh Rogers, and we're getting other reports here that in fact Alabama is already being hit down around Scottsboro. Hey, Austin, will you pull that radar up again, please, sir? And I'm going to turn your mic back on here. Austin Chadwick's our Mix TV producer. You can watch our coverage. And that's just an update. I understand Allison Pryor, who is from Cleveland, we think the world of her, meteorologist at Channel 3, is going to be calling us any minute. Probably trying to call him. My mother was on the phone, but that's fine. There it is. And Austin, what do you What do you see?
We have some listeners calling in asking for you to stop picking on your mom.
Really?
Yes.
I wasn't picking on. I didn't say anything. I was listening. All right. What do you make of this radar picture here, Austin?
It looks like down in Alabama, we're starting to see some images and some pictures. People are sending in some videos and stuff. I've got the Weather Channel going on back here. I've got WRCB, and so these storms are really starting to fire up. This next set of storms is coming up, and just like David said this morning, you know, they're split up into many different cells. They're up in little bitty cells, which is dangerous. If you remember back to 2011 storms, those come through in little single individual cells, and that's the ones you got to watch out for. And then also in last year. So they're starting to fire up. The atmosphere has warmed up, and it's kind of made it unsettle. So we're getting close. This is getting to be the time that we've talked about it all day. Now's the time to go find your shelter, go find your family, get in place, and be ready for this.
Josh Rogers, what comes to mind?
I'm sitting here thinking, am I ready? You know, am I prepared? I have a friend of mine that puts stuff out all the time, and you know, they talk about what Dwayne was talking about earlier is, you know, charge your phone. You know, make sure that you have a flashlight. Make sure that you have all your supplies that you need. If you have medication that you take and you have to have, make sure you keep it close tonight. If you have animals, like indoor animals, outdoor animals, you know, family pets, bring them inside. Give them a safe place. If you have important documents, identification, things of that nature, make sure that you're wearing it. If you have medical alert bracelets, make sure you have those on tonight. We say all these things, and our hope and our prayer is that nothing comes of it. But the one thing that we can say is that we need to all be prepared. We all need to be ready for the worst and plan for the worst. And something Troy was saying earlier was his job is to plan, and hope that he never has to use those plans. And so that should be all of our plans tonight, is to make sure that we're very prepared. We're well prepared to have everything that we need in a backpack near you, wherever you are. You know, try to stay up a little bit later tonight. Let's make it through this. And then stay tuned on the radio, or, you know, here on Mix 104, whether it's on the app or whether it's on a Facebook or with our news partners at WRCB, you know, stay with them. And when we get the all clear from everybody, then let's go to sleep and, you know, come into work a little bit late tomorrow morning or whatever it might be. Or whatever it might be. But please, but please be safe. You know, if you're in a modular home or a mobile home, or you have a home that doesn't have a basement, find a safe place to go, whether you have friends or family, or you need to use one of these local storm shelters, whatever it might be. Find a place. Please be safe, and let's all see each other in the morning.
I'm going to put a call out. Thank you, Josh. I'm going to put a call out because I got this question hours ago from just one of the best people I know, Reba Terry. Does anybody have weather radios? They're sold out everywhere.
Are they? I told someone earlier today to go look at Tractor Supply. I know that a lot of local food places, a lot of local grocery stores do sell them in certain parts. I know Food City's had them in the past. I think Publix has had them in the past. So I would check those local places. But make sure that you have batteries for those.
That's right.
Make sure that you have enough stuff that you need. We're sitting here right now about an hour and 12 minutes from 5 o'clock, and that's kind of the time that everybody's saying is that where we need to be prepared, and we need to start getting into our safe place. So you've got about an hour left to get into that place, and so make sure that you have all that you need, you know, extra bottles of water, whatever it might be. It's going to be a long 5 or 6 hours tonight for everyone, I think. A lot of prayers are going to be going up in this community and in this town, but we can all get through this together. But please don't be the one that's sitting there that doesn't have a plan, that's not in a safe spot, and we want everybody to be prepared, and we want everyone to be safe.
If anybody, Dwayne, I'll go right to you, but if anybody has any information on that, or any weather radios or anything you want to pass along, you can call us 614-6499 on the volunteer at FS Mix line. Dwayne?
Yeah, this would be a great time, too, as we're still, like Josh was saying, about an hour and 10 or 15 minutes away from this becoming the potential start of what's going to be a long night. Go ahead and plan your meal. I mean, go ahead and get something to eat. Get yourself settled to where you're not got your kids screaming at you at 7 o'clock tonight, Mom, I'm hungry, because at that point in time, if you're without power and all those things, you don't need something else on your mind at that particular moment in time. So while you've got time, go ahead and plan something quick. If you're going to prepare something at home or make sandwiches, whatever you're going to do, get yourself prepared and be ready, and go ahead and you don't think that you're going to need a full stomach, but you probably will if you're going to have a long night ahead of you.
Another thing to say, too, is that expect power. I mean, we're hoping the power stays on all night. Cleveland Utilities and Volunteer, they do a great job of keeping our lights on for us. But be prepared for that to possibly happen. Be prepared for, services to be disrupted possibly. And let me say this, coming at, day job is in electrical and plumbing and everything like that. If you see a down power line, please call, speak to someone, and please do not go near it. Please do not go near down power lines, whether it's coming into your house or whether it's on the road, whatever it might be. If you see flooding out in the street, our prayer is that nobody's going to be out in this tonight. But if you are, please be safe. Please do not try to go through something that there's high waters or anything like that. If you see a down power line, down trees, please stay away from it and let emergency management know about those things.
I'm reminded the Logan Thompson law firm, Jimmy and Robert and the firm, always used to and still do remind everyone to get pictures of your valuables and to make sure that you use the, to be able to identify in a case like this, and to be aware of this situation. We are, as we are saying, and it almost seems like some kind of a countdown, and the reason it seems like that is because the National Weather Service has crystallized a time frame more in detail, really, in their briefing, which we were looking at, and really looking, I should say, looking toward at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and this is now, we're about 2 hours removed, but that 5 p.m. to midnight period. So maybe you're just coming in here with us and you're saying, well, I'm hearing you say 5 p.m. What's about 5 p.m.? Well, if you're just joining us, that's what the National Weather Service said that's the time period that we can expect some significant weather event. I will go back, and the plan here is after the top of the hour, we will go back over the and do a full recap here. But the words used at 2 o'clock by the Weather Service, as Troy Spence related to us, our EMA, our Emergency Management Agency Director, once in a lifetime. The potential for a once-in-a-lifetime weather event. So that is why, starting this morning, Dwayne, Bridget, Austin, our team did a tremendous job starting at 6 a.m. preparing you. The conversations we had off the air with emergency service personnel were very, very concerning, all beginning this morning, all day. I believe Troy Spence pointed out we are at the same risk of a tornado that we were on Easter of last year, a significant tornado risk. So these things are adding up. As Troy said, we plan, and we hope we don't have to use the plan, but and that would be our hope. I do feel it is vital that we continue to mention where you can go if you do not have and Dwayne, I want you to do it this round, if you will. If you do not have a storm-safe home, then we want to give you some ideas. I'll give you the first one, then Dwayne can mention the others. The Oh Yeah Health and Fitness at the Village Green Town Center. That's the former Village Lanes. Bill is a bowling alley. It's underground when it was a bowling alley. It's now Oh Yeah Health and Fitness. Larry Gurney's opening the doors to anyone who wants to come, and if you are not in a storm-safe home and you want to stay there tonight, you can do that. You can do that. You can spend the night there, bring your sleep supplies, that sort of thing. They have showers there. Now, they're providing the facility. And Oh Yeah Health and Fitness doing that I would also mention you really need to download our app so you can get the information tonight on your phone or mobile device. You can listen to us. We got a lot of people listening on the app, I understand. MyMix1041.com. It's a free download thanks to CHI Memorial. Dwayne, let's hit those other safe areas.
All right, let's go ahead and give you that. I'm also going to give you the address because I know sometimes people are not real familiar with some of these places. And so I'll give you the address. So get a pen and jot this down if you're thinking that you may need to use one of these tonight, and you can put it in your GPS or in your phone and take you right to them. The Bradley Fire and Rescue Station on Dalton Pike at Waterville. That's going to be adjacent to the old Waterville Golf Course. You can find them at 3715 Dalton Pike. 3715 Dalton Pike is going to be the one there. The Bradley Fire and Rescue Station on Menace Road, located close to Parkview School. Now, the address for that one is 365 Menace Road. So that is the address for the one on Menace Road. Bradley Fire Rescue Station, Georgetown Road at Hopewell, adjacent to Volunteer Electric and Hopewell School, 5345 Georgetown Road Northwest. And then Walker Valley High School. Of course, that's there on Lauderdale Memorial Highway, 750 Lauderdale Memorial Highway. That is your address for that. Steve, also want to remind you that at Walker Valley, no pets will be allowed into that facility. And then also on the ones that's the fire stations there, if you bring pets to the ones that we talked about on Dalton Pike, Menace Road, Georgetown Road, those ones will accept pets, but they will put them in a cage because this is the way that it's just got to be, and they will be in the Bay Area. That's where they usually keep the fire trucks and things like that. That's where your pets will be caged in one of those Bay Areas. You cannot take those pets personally inside the safe rooms with you there. So please keep that in mind and make sure you are aware of that. Also, let's move on, Steve, to what we have heard from our caller from Ray County in the Dayton area. City Hall in Graysville at 295 Long Street. They will be open for a shelter there in the Ray County area. And also the Faith Baptist Church in Dayton, located at 273 Old Graysville Road in Dayton. That is another shelter that you'll be able to go to. Now, Steve, you mentioned it a while ago. There is, Health and Fitness. That is a storm shelter. You'll be able to go there and stay overnight. That's why Steve is telling you to bring a sleeping bag and snacks with you, because that will allow you to stay there overnight at a storm shelter. But these ready rooms that we're telling you about right now, those 4 ready rooms, basically, once the storms have passed, those will be closed. You will be asked to leave. So those are just there for the area of the storms, and then those will be shut down and you'll be asked to leave. So keep that in mind. That is not a place that you can stay overnight. Ruthie Forgy of the Salvation Army will hopefully be reaching out to them if needed. She's already told us that supplies and teams are ready if it comes to that.
Yeah, it's a community effort as usual, and we really appreciate those people who are already reaching out as we're in this period of what would be the pre-weather event. Again, you can download our free Mix 1041 app, MyMix1041.com. Ran into a lady earlier, not really, from New Hampshire, and she said, you know, we found your station. We are not used to these storms and tornadoes in New Hampshire. And she said, she was very, very nice. And we got a lot of people around here who aren't used to this. And let me say also, and something we want to mention, we're also on not just Mix 1041, we're on Talk 1013, we're on Fiesta 99.1. And Yvette Bond is your morning host over there. And she's dialed into our Hispanic community in a wonderful way. And we say hello to all of our friends listening. Let's go back to the phones. And I believe the sheriff is on the line. Is that right, Sheriff?
That's right, Steve. I'm here.
Sheriff Steve Lawson. Sheriff Lawson, if you will, sir, what would you tell people at a time like this where the Weather Service is saying that we have this, quote, potential of a once-in-a-lifetime weather event? This period starts about 5 o'clock.
Well, it's tough. It's tough for our entire community. We face this, it seems, once again. And I said and put out a post earlier that help us help the first responders and try to stay safe. And And you've been pressing, and I heard you a while ago pressing, go ahead and get your safe plan in place, know what you're going to do. So, it's going to make it tougher on the first responders and the people that have to work tonight if more people are on the road. So the more people we can keep in, try to keep isolated will help us a whole lot. We don't know what's going to come of this. I heard maybe the sun came out a while ago and maybe it would charge it some and it didn't stay out to me very long. So we'll see where we go. Hopefully it will pass. We pray that it does, but we are preparing for the worst, and we'll be prepared for whatever situation we have to deal with in assisting all the people of this county.
We're joined by Bradley County Sheriff Steve Lawson. We've definitely, as you said, we have been here before. And I do like when you say, stay in and make it easier on our first responders to do their job if they have to do that.
And even the flooding, Steve, even if you just go with the flooding, it's a hamper to us because, as you well know, people will try to go through a zone they don't need to go through. And then we'll have to respond to that, try to get those people out. And we've got to make sure that we got all of our people available to answer calls for the worst case scenario, people that really need us, and we need to try to keep those people freed up. So the public can help a whole lot. We can, in a lot of places I know closed up early today. Bradley County government even closed it too. So if people can get home, get situated, get safe with their families themselves, and then let's see where we go, and we pray they'll be the best for our community.
Bradley County Sheriff Steve Lawson. Sheriff, thank you very much for calling us, and obviously stay in touch with us and let us know what we can do to help.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate you talking to me.
Thank you, Sheriff. Bradley County Sheriff Steve Lawson. Josh, that's exactly right. I mean, we totally agree.
Yeah, most definitely. Stay inside, stay safe, get your plan together. Just taking something from what the sheriff said is, we have these flooding zones. Everybody, I think in Bradley County, if you've been here for a while, some of those roads that get really flooded, when it rains, and some of those local areas where, you're just not supposed to drive down. And so stay inside. It will help emergency management services be able to provide the services that they need to those more crucial areas. If we can all stay safe, stay indoors,
All right, we've crossed a new hour. It is 2 minutes after 4. So what we're going to do right here, we're going to take a break, come back. We're actually going to get Fox, World, and National News on the hour. And then we are, I'll go ahead and hit that. I've just received a question here. I've received this question a few times about schools tomorrow. No decision has been made about schools tomorrow that we are aware of and that we've been advised about. No decision at this point, and so simply we don't know, and we'll tell you when we don't know, and so I've just got that question again just now. I'll answer that question here on the air, and that is we simply do not know about schools tomorrow at this time. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. Fox, World, and National News do our top of the hour thing. When we come back on the other side, we're going to recap everything. And then we're going to shift a little bit because we are beginning to get in a situation where that 5 o'clock time is upon us. Back in just a moment. You're listening to Mix 104.1, Talk 101.3, Fiesta 99.1. You're listening on the very important Mix 104.1 app. It's free. Download at mymix1041.com, thanks to CHI Memorial. Also, we're on Mix TV. You thought I was bad enough listening, you can watch us. Well, I'm just kidding. Go to mymix1041.com and click Mix TV. Back in a moment.
Broadcasting from the Kia of Cleveland Studios, this is Mix 104.1 WCLE, Calhoun, Cleveland, Athens. Download the free Mix 104.1 app at mymix1041.com.
Fox News is next, presented by Capital Tire Service in downtown Cleveland.
Fox News, I'm I'm Karen McHugh. It lasted about an hour. President Biden held his first formal press conference at the White House this afternoon. He says the U.S. will do whatever it takes to handle the surge in migrant children of the southern border.
Well, I used all the resources available to me, went to the Defense Department, and the Secretary of Defense has just made available Fort Bliss, 5,000 beds.
Regarding the filibuster rule in the Senate, which he said was used a total of 58 times between the years 1917 to 71, the president said it's now being abused.
Last year alone, there were 5 times that many. So it's being abused in a gigantic way.
And as for how long U.S. forces will remain in Afghanistan, the president said,
we're in consultation, I said, with our allies and partners and how to proceed.
President Biden at the White House this afternoon. America is listening to Fox News.
Capital Tire Service, downtown Cleveland, your local Michelin dealer since 1967, providing Cleveland with quality products and services for over 50 years. Come see Freddie or Tony in downtown Cleveland for a great deal on Michelin tires. The Mix 104.1 News Desk brought to you by Logan Thompson Law, a tradition of legal and community service. That's Logan Thompson Law at LoganThompsonLaw.com. All right, a very pleasant and good afternoon, everybody. We've crossed the 4 o'clock hour. So pleased to be joined by one of our own, Allison Pryor, meteorologist with Channel 3. Allison, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Steve. Thanks for having us on. You know, today is the day that we want everybody to make sure that they are weather aware. We are tracking some severe storms. We've already had some severe thunderstorms earlier today. We have a couple more rounds to go. So our advice for this evening and tonight is to make sure that you have a plan, that you know where to go, where your safe places. There are some storm shelters that are opening up in Bradley County and Cleveland that you can get to. If you're staying at home, you need to be in the lowest portion of your home, interior room. If you have a basement, that's going to be great. And as far as the forecast, what we're looking at is kind of that key timing is from about 5 p.m. until about midnight. That's going to be for the Cleveland and Bradley County area. So that early evening wave will kind of be individual storm cells tracking through, and then that later night wave from about 11 p.m. to midnight, we're looking at a line that's going to be moving across the area. Both of those times will have the potential for severe damaging wind gusts. Unfortunately, also the potential that we could have some tornadoes that spin up, and some of those could indeed be intense, significant tornadoes potentially, along with hail and that flooding risk. So it's certainly a night tonight that we want everybody to pay attention, and we will continue to update you, of course, on Channel 3 that you can watch us live as well.
We're joined by Allison Pryor, meteorologist for Channel 3, originally from Cleveland. Allison, I know you're very busy. I'm going to let you go, but is in your meteorological, if that's such a word, training, and in your studies, is there any reason why we have so many nighttime focused tornadoes in the state of Tennessee and in this area specifically?
It does have to do with how everything is set up, putting storms in motion when you're getting that Gulf moisture and heat coming off of the Gulf of Mexico, moving up into Mississippi and Alabama. And so a lot of times those storms start firing up in those states in the afternoon. And then as a warm front lifts up from there, and that's what we're going to be dealing with tonight, it's going to be taking a little bit later in the day, which means those storms hold together, which is what we're expecting tonight. It ends up getting to us during the nighttime hours. So it does have to do with where our state is placed, with those storms developing in the afternoon to the west of us. And then as they move eastward, which is our normal track, then unfortunately it ends up being nighttime by the time they get here.
It's a great explanation. Allison Pryor, we will be watching and listening, and we're proud to be partners with Channel 3. Thank you very much.
Of course. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe.
And tell Dr. Pryor we said hello, okay?
I sure will.
Thank you, Allison.
All right. Thanks.
Bye. It is 4:09, and great explanation. All right, we are going to reset the hour right now at 4:09. Mix 104.1 Talk 101.3 Fiesta 99.1. Here we go.
This is a severe weather update.
It is being called by National Weather Service forecasters the potential in Cleveland, Bradley County, Southeast Tennessee as, quote, the potential for a once-in-a-lifetime weather event. We do not like to pass that along to you, but that is exactly what they said in their weather briefing about 2 hours ago at the EMA headquarters. We are encouraging our audience. We are encouraging the public to please prepare. And we're going to go back over those items again, but I do want to bring you what Allison Pryor from Channel 3 was just talking about, and that is that there are going to be safe, ready, storm-safe ready rooms available if your home is not safe for the potential of strong to severe storms and tornadoes. Here we go. These, by the way, these rooms that the Cleveland Bradley County Emergency Management Agency and the Office of Homeland Security have available are designed to withstand 200-mile-per-hour winds. 200. And we hope that is not the case. But here we go. These will be available. Matter of fact, in about 20 minutes, the Walker Valley High School Storm Safe Ready Room will be available. That's at 4:30 at Walker Valley High School. You cannot bring your pets with you. Now, the following fire halls, you can bring your pets, but they're going to be put in cages if you bring them, and they'll leave them in the bay of the fire halls. Here we go. Bradley County Fire and Rescue Station, Dalton Pike at Waterville. The address is 2715 Dalton Pike here in Cleveland. Also, the Bradley County Fire and Rescue Station on Menace Road. That's at 365 Menace Road in Cleveland. And then finally, the Bradley County Fire and Rescue Station, Georgetown Road at Hopewell. That's in the 5345 Georgetown Road here in Cleveland. Then we have, these are not shelters. These are basically rooms that you can stay in through the storm, which is the time period that Allison just mentioned that the National Weather Service is telling everyone is between 5 and midnight. Between 5 and midnight. So the Oh Yeah Health and Fitness Facility at the Village Green Town Center is opening their doors for anyone who wants to stay all night. Now, that would be a true shelter. If you don't know, the difference in Oh Yeah is the fact that they're underground. They've got, well, not all of it, but you go downstairs there, that's the old bowling alley there at the Village, and that's underground, folks. That's one of the safest places in Bradley County. I'm telling you right now. You go downstairs, you go down in that basement, they have showers. There, Larry Gurney is the owner. This was his idea. Brilliant. And, of course, he ran that by Troy Spence and Sean Fairbanks and made sure that was the right thing to do, and it is. And so if you were to go to Oh Yeah, you'll want to take sleeping supplies. Larry said bring a sleeping bag or a cot, something like that. And I believe Josh Rogers joins me. Dwayne is planning some coverage right now. But, Josh, I believe the Salvation Army said they have supplies that are ready to go.
They do have supplies. Ruthie called in and spoke with you earlier, and she said that they have supplies and teams that are ready to go and willing to help whenever all these storms happen and pass through. And it's really great to see Larry Gurney, local businesses step up and open up their shelter for this community, for people to be, or open up their gym to turn it into a shelter for this community. And just a reminder, to all those people is that at Walker Valley, you cannot bring your pets with you. So that is one thing that cannot happen. So if you do have pets with you, look at going to one of the fire rescue stations that were mentioned earlier.
Let me go back. Thank you, Josh. Let me go. Josh Rogers joining me. We have Austin Chadwick. Austin, I'm going to come to you in just a second. He's doing a tremendous job. They've been here all day since very early this morning. This community and we all really appreciate Austin and Dwayne and even Bridget, who
Wow.
Rumor was she was here earlier. Is that right?
I don't know about that.
Who cares? No, Bridget did a great job. Ashley, Kristen, Yvette, Bond. Just an incredible team we have here. Ryan Felton, who corresponded to us from the weather briefing at 2 o'clock. Let me point out a few other things, if you've not heard, from the weather briefing the National Weather Service held at 2 o'clock this afternoon, which Ryan covered for us. And that is that we're looking at strong, what they're calling long-track tornadoes, large 1-inch plus hail, damaging winds, quick rising water. Now, you heard the sheriff a second ago. You know, do not try it, folks. You know, and please stay home. Or stay wherever you are that's going to be safe tonight. Please get there and stay there. And quite frankly, it's 4:15. You need to be making your way somewhere. You need to have that plan together, I'm telling you. Anyway, significant tornado risk. Troy Spence pointed out that was the same level of risk we had a year ago for the Easter Sunday night tornadoes of last year. Was a significant risk. 5 to midnight. We're about 44 minutes from 5 p.m. Is it going to be like the New Year's Eve ball? No. It's not just going to happen at 5 p.m., we don't think. But I'm going to have Austin put the radar up again in a moment, and we'll take a look at where everything is. You can watch this, Mix TV, mymix1041.com. You can see our radar that we are looking at the National Weather Service and Channel 3. Let me give you a couple other things. Now, and here, this is not to be discounted. 2 to 3 inches of rain as part of this weather event. Also, that was the last briefing, by the way. There will be no more weather briefings today. Everything else is going to come directly from the emergency management agency, directly to us. So important, folks, to have our app. Go to mymix1041.com, and we're going to have a lot there. Going to have an awful lot there as we go along. They're doing a great job. Download the app. It's free. Listen on your phone or mobile device. We'll keep you informed. Elevated hail risk, elevated flash flooding. Now, the flash flood warnings just expired. Did they let that expire, you think? 4:15? I think it did.
I think it did. I don't know if I'm efforting to see if they redid those.
Hey, Austin, are you with me? Austin Chadwick?
I've got a flash flood warning until Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern.
Be a watch, I would imagine.
Watch through 4:15.
Austin Chadwick joins us right now. And Austin, are you able to pull the radar up that way? Why don't you go grab it and come back? I'd like to study the telestrator like John Madden would with you. Let's go to the phones. Mix 1041. Well, that's not the right line. I'm not getting it. It's all right. All right. Flash flood warning was allowed to expire at 4:15. There we go. I want Austin to come back. And I do want to go back now to our radar. And there's a little purple there if you look just past head now. And this is what's heading here. This is what's heading here. Now, we're getting some rain back in our area now. But the heaviest stuff is in North Alabama. If that, and Austin, I'm seeing purple all over there, and that's the problem. But purple, of course, the most severe color. But Austin, tell me what we're seeing here and or hearing on the radio right now.
What we see is we do see a bunch of dark red cells moving through. It's very widespread. It's really widened out as it's coming towards Chattanooga. It's kind of crossing the border between Alabama and Tennessee at this point, so it's getting upon us. It looks like there's some rain to begin with. I'm not going to say definitely that the risk has gone down at all, but it is one big cluster. And so once that first part passes by us, everything behind it will also be just as dangerous. So we need to pay attention to that also. It looks like
interesting is that, well, she's I'm looking at another radar, but she's prognosticating. Okay.
Yeah, at WRCB here, they're covering all the way into 10:30, 11 o'clock tonight, showing still some purple cells out there moving around there. So that's even past midnight.
Hey, and I do not mean to interrupt you, Austin, but let me say that we're talking a lot about Cleveland and Bradley County, but if you're in Athens, if you're in Dayton, oh goodness, we need to get that. Do you have that note Joanne made about the safe rooms in Dayton? The gentleman called us.
Should be right there, right where your hand is.
Austin, do you have that? You want to read that?
I will mention this too. We were talking about the flood advisory or the flood warnings. They did expire. But there is a flood advisory. It came out at 4:06 from the National Weather Service in Morristown. Flood advisory for Bradley County and East Tennessee, Hamilton County and East Tennessee, Marion County, southeastern Sequatchie County. This will go until 7:15 Eastern. So they say some locations, Cleveland, Chattanooga, Jasper, Soddy Daisy. They said the Doppler radar indicated heavy rain due to thunderstorms. Minor flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly in the advisory. In the advisory area, up to 2 inches of rain have fallen. So that is a flood advisory until 7:15 this evening.
All right, I know that the Faith Baptist in Dayton is opening their basement area this evening. If you're in Ray County, what I was saying, we're talking a lot about Cleveland, Bradley County, but Athens, McMinn County, we have listeners there. You're going to get strong storms there. Dayton, Ray County, that whole area, Meigs County. Hello, Ann Jamel Horn, over in Decatur. And all over, I hope Angie didn't. Go ahead, Austin. Tell us what's happening in Ray County.
Is this the Ray County, the City Hall?
Graysville,
295 Graysville, that's what it is.
Yep.
295 Long Street, that's going to be one shelter. And then 273 Old Graysville Road in Dayton and Ray County. That is Faith Baptist in Dayton. And they're going to be open so that you can go and take shelter in place. And if you live in a manufactured home, a trailer, double wide, something like that, this is not the night to stay. This is not the night to stay. You need to go find one of these shelters, stay in it for a few hours, take your mask, do whatever you can. Don't stay in those. They're just not safe. They really are not. I mean, if a tornado comes through, they're just gonna roll. And so just be wise. Be wise. Make good decisions. Take your family. Go stay for a few hours, and then once it clears up, you can come back.
You both have given some things that we may have not thought of, things to have, things to do. Let's review that at this point. Both of you, and I know you've got a screen there, Austin, you're working on. Josh, what would you say to that?
Sure. Some of the things that, I sit here and think about is medication. I'm a person, I have to have medication to take every single day. I'm a diabetic, so I have to have my insulin and everything like that. So medication, have it in baggies, have it labeled, have it in a book bag with you. Clothing items, shoes, make sure that you have your shoes near you. Make sure that you have medical alert bracelets with you. ID, important documents that you might have them in a weatherproofing type bag. The Ziploc bag, have it zipped up with important documents in it. Make sure that your animals that are outside, make sure that you bring them inside. Put them in the garage if you have to. Make sure that not only that is that if you have inside dogs and they're with you and they're with your family in your safe place, make sure that you have a leash on them. Make sure that they have a collar on them. Make sure that they have identification. Make sure that your kids, if you have kids or children with you, make sure that you have all of their belongings that they need, that you would need. Young babies, maybe grab, instead of holding the baby all night, in your arms, make sure you put that baby in a car seat. Make sure the baby's in the car seat and strapped in there and is safe. This is not a time to be joking around, playing around. This is the time where all the planning, and when you need to protect your family, this is the time to do it. This is the time where you need to have all the things that you need to keep your family safe. Be in the places that you need to have the materials or whatever it is, and be there and be with your family. Make sure that your phones are charged. Make sure that you have plenty of batteries, flashlights. Make sure that you have some food, water, whatever it is. 5 hours, 6 hours doesn't seem like a long time, but it will be a long time tonight. And our prayers, our thoughts are that everything will be safe, everyone will be happy, everything's going to be fine. That's our prayer, that's our hope. But like they were saying earlier, is plan for the worst, and pray for the best.
I also want to point out, we haven't mentioned this in a while. I want to have Austin run down the list on the screen in a moment, but the vaccinations that were supposed to take place today at First Baptist with the Bradley County Health Department are postponed, are going to happen on Tuesday at the same time that your appointment was scheduled today. So if you were scheduled for a vaccine today, they moved that to Tuesday and the same time. Austin, what else we need to know?
Just like Josh was saying, make sure that your cell phones are charged, your alerts are turned on. You can turn on inside the notification settings of iPhone and Android both to where it'll send alerts. Download our app. We'll be sending out alerts throughout the night anytime there's a warning or watch. If you have a weather radio, this is a good time to replace the batteries. Make sure it's good to go. Those weather radios, they've saved millions of lives, thousands and thousands, and probably millions of lives. You want to check the weather regular, which you've done that throughout the day. Now it's time just to kind of keep an eye on it. If you haven't already, this is kind of the last time to do it, is go outside, secure any loose objects. The last thing you would want is something in the yard flying and busting a window, and then you having to deal with that in the middle of the storm. And then if you have any neighbors or family or friends, I was calling a few people in my family earlier, elderly neighbors or something, people that just don't normally sit around and look at their phones all the time, may not know that this is happening. So check on them, make sure they're ready, make sure that they have an idea of what's going on, they're prepared, they've got a plan, and like I said earlier, if find your shelter, find your place, protect your family. You get in it, have some food like Josh was saying, just be ready. And that's the biggest thing. That's where the most amount of problems come out of these storms, is when somebody's not ready or not paying attention. So we want to just drive that home to you.
All right, this reminder, once again, this is a very serious situation. And we just want everyone to be prepared. And that's been the focus since early this morning. Mix 104.1, Talk 101.3, Fiesta 99.1. And I would just say to you, people of prayer, that lead your family in prayer. And use the faith that the Lord gave you. And let's just, you know what? Let me say this. This is not a foregone conclusion. We've had a lot of very serious conversations privately today, but just be prepared. I think that could sum everything up. Once again, safe rooms available here in the next few minutes at Walker Valley, opens at 4:30. Bradley Fire and Rescue at 5. At Menace Road, Dalton, Pike at Waterville, and Georgetown at Hopewell. And the Oh Yeah Health and Fitness Complex at the Village Green is opening all night. You can spend the night there if you'd like.
Rodney from the YMCA, he just called us and said that they are closing at 5 o'clock. He said their website says 5:30, but they're going to go ahead and close up at 5 o'clock, and they're going to go home. So if you have any activities that you're doing at the Y, or if you have someone there that you need to pick up and get home, this is the time to do it. So they're closing at 5.
All right, we are going to shift our broadcast a little bit now, and I will tell you that we are first, and I will say this: we are for safety of our staff as well. So we are going to take a break here. We're going to transition a little bit, but stick in here with us, okay? 5 o'clock is the projected time, 5 until noon, and I'm reminded of the old hymn: till the storm passes over, till the thunder sounds no more. We're on watch for you tonight. You stick in there with us. This is Mix 104.1, Fiesta 99.1, Talk 101.3, Download the app at mymix1041.com. And don't forget, Mix TV at mymix1041.com. Stay with us, folks. Back in a moment.
It's the Village Volkswagen of Chattanooga Sign Then Drive event. 0 down, 0 security deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 do-it signing. Plus, on 2021 models of Tiguan, Atlas, and Atlas Cross Sport, you can get financing as low as 0% up to 72 months. Hurry into Village VW for 0 down, 0 security deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 do-it signing. Just sign then drive at Village Volkswagen. And yes, our Sign Then Drive event includes the red-hot Atlas Cross Sport, Jetta, and a dynamic new Arteon sedan. Don't miss the Sign Then Drive event at Village VW for qualified customers through Volkswagen Credit. Offer ends March 31st. Come drive a Volkswagen.
You're going to love your new car from Village Volkswagen.
North end of Auto Row, villagevw.com.
New year, new you? That's so last month. If you really want to stay on the cutting edge of what's hot, check out the new app from Cleveland Bradley County Teachers Federal Credit Union. That's right, our same extraordinary service has expanded to a slick new mobile banking app, now with Touch ID and facial recognition for a secure, quick way to sign in. With our new app, you can check your balance from anywhere, track your account history anytime, and transfer money with the click of a button, all from the comfort of your cell phone. And our 2 convenient branches are still available to serve you. Cleveland Bradley County Teachers Federal Credit Union. Extraordinary service exclusively for school employees.
Now is a great time to visit your Cleveland Ford. I-75